It's like overheats and you can't see me anymore. So I'm just going to start. So I'll leave the music production stuff for the last like half hour because that doesn't, you don't really need to see my face. You have to mostly see the DAW. So we'll do that here. Valmer, what's good, baby? Cool. We got 7 people in here. This is great. Dude, I'm so grateful that you guys are here on the Lord's Day, dude. You guys are here with me. This is great. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that a
You're
lot.
doing the Lord's work.
Oh, we're trying, bro. I'm trying my best here. Okay, so let's just get it. Let's just jump into it. Make sure everything's recording. Okay, beautiful. Does anybody else have the capability to kind of screen record as well, just in case, kind of like a fail safe? Anyone have the ability to do that? Video and audio?
Doesn't Zoom do that?
I
Yeah, I
can
mean,
do it as a backup, like OBS or
yeah,
something.
JP, that'd be great if we could just like test out. I don't want to like do this whole thing and then be like, whoopsie daisies, there's no recording. You know what I mean? So maybe
Yeah, gotcha.
test also if there's audio. I really appreciate that because I've had it before where I'm all like going, oh fucking, here's this thing, and then we're like, whoopsie daisies, there's no audio, there's no video. So just want to make sure. Um, yeah. Where's testing?
Yeah, I got a backup going.
Okay, sweet, dude. I really appreciate that. Okay,
Yeah, no
so
problem.
let's get this cracking. Let me share my screen, and I'm gonna start first in this kind of conversation. I want to start off with branding, and I want to talk about like what my kind of philosophy is about what I did with my branding, what changed for me, and why I'm doing what I'm doing with the fucking red jacket and everything, and what the logic behind it is. So as you guys may or may not know, I did this thing in 2023. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was going to quit music in 2022. I've been a music producer. I used to be in a DJ production duo called Goshfather and Jinko. We reached incredible heights. We were doing like trap and bass music. We got signed to William Morris Endeavor, which is a gigantic agency. Calvin Harris was on there. Skrillex was on there. It was huge. We literally toured all over the world. Like we toured in Chile and fucking in Mexico. We toured in like a lot of different countries. We toured in like all different kinds of states. Welcome whoever just joined. Sorry, I can't see who just joined, but welcome. And I had a career, and we killed it. I was literally just my only income was from music and DJing. And then me and my partner in 2015 broke up. And we had a bunch of differences. Obviously, looking back, there's a lot of ego, a lot of really stupid, idiot like reasons of why we broke up. A lot of it was because of me. And then so after that, in 2015, I kind of lived in Los Angeles, going out to parties and blah, 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 like, yeah, bro, big shit coming, bro, big shit coming. Because I had a really good reputation. I collaborated with Keizo and Sullivan King and like fucking Slander. I had songs, all these big people that were coming up. We were pretty much ready to come up. And when we broke up, I was just walking around LA going to parties and stuff, going, yeah, man, I'm the shit. Like people still got my back. People still got my back. And that was from 2015 up until 2019, essentially, where I was just kind of bouncing around telling people, oh, bro, I got songs coming, bro. I got stuff coming, bro. You just wait, bro. Pipeline, bro. I wasn't working on fucking anything. Why? Because my ego was so fucking wrapped up in what people thought about me, what people thought that I did before, how people still kind of owe me from back in the day. A bunch of really self-defeating bullshit. I put out a couple of songs and they did pretty well. But again, so much of it came back to like this paralysis of like, what are people going to think of me? I got to wait till I can make a move. Da, 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 da. And to be honest, like I got better at telling the story about the shit that I'm working on at parties with like music industry people than I was at making anything. And you guys got to realize that that is the most sinister darkness to kind of become part of because it traps you, it paralyzes you. It puts you into this kind of way of thinking of, I can't do shit until I get this kind of silent approval from this kind of tribunal of shadowy fucking music industry peers. It's complete bullshit. So, and to be honest, because of that kind of cognitive dissonance, that made me more anxious to actually go and produce music. Because I was like, oh, well, if it's not perfect, if it's not ready yet, I can't be doing this shit, blah, 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 all this bullshit. Looking back, I'm realizing that's what it was. But at that time, back in the day when I was living in Los Angeles around 2015 to 2019, I was thinking that I was just, biding my time. Complete bullshit. 2020, I moved back to San Francisco because I'm like, maybe my tenure in LA is kind of done for a little bit. Maybe I need to take a little break from LA. I actually get like a tech job in San Francisco, and I kind of like, okay, let me like establish myself a little bit here while pursuing music. One day in like February or something in 2020, I plug in my fucking hard drive of 8 years of literally studio sessions that I paid for singers, and the hard drive just fucking fucks up. It was an old shitty one with a disc, and it's gone. Everything is gone. I'm a dumbass. I never backed it up. Probably also because of the ego stuff. Like, man, this shit's too good. All gone. Gone. Everything's gone. Not salvageable. Everything was closed during COVID. Anybody even that could try to salvage it, I sent it over to somebody that said, sorry, it's not salvageable. Gone. So I'm like, that's it. I'm done with music. Done. It was so traumatic. I lost everything. All those moments where I was like, yeah, bro, I got shit in the pipeline. The pipeline is burst. Okay. There's no more fucking pipeline. Pipeline's gone. Everything's gone. I'm done with music. This is bullshit. So I got into like different stuff. I was doing tech. I was doing like crypto stuff. But then through all that, I started becoming friends because all the big DJs and stuff were getting into like Web3 and crypto, all this stuff. So I got really good at that. Got really good at learning. So I developed these relationships with producers and stuff that were much bigger than me, much more out of my league than ever. And by the way, this story is going to get back to the point of the branding. So I became friends with them, but on a different level, not on a, hey bro, check out my demo. I was actually having like value. I was teaching them about stuff, teaching them about like Web3 and crypto and stuff, whatever. So I became friends with them. So then I slowly started like, as in these group chats with these big DJs, hey bro, I started like dipping my feet back in music. Oh, make a little beat. And I was doing that for a year. Like, what do you guys think of this? 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 And at one point, somebody who, pretty much changed my life with this conversation took me aside and said, yo, bro. And they're a really huge producer. They were like, listen, you can keep showing us works in progress, keep showing us. But whether we say you are the biggest piece of shit, stop making music, never open Ableton again, or if we say this song is going to change humanity, that you are the most incredible God-given producer, it doesn't fucking matter what we have to say. What matters is what you, as in me, think about it, and what your audience, your current fan base, thinks about it. And that fucking changed everything for me, especially coming from that person. So what I decided to do in 2023 was, I'm going to give this shit one more try. I'm going to put out one song every single week. And as you guys know, that's what I did. It changed my fucking life. I'm not saying everybody has to go do that, but what it did for me was it eliminated all those excuses and all that shit that I used to tell myself about how, oh, I need to wait till it's good. We got to wait till the perfect moment. It's complete bullshit, because the more music that I put out, AKA forced myself to get into a cycle of create, be okay with it, done, ship it, create the artwork, put it out, do a little social media post on it, interact with people. Getting into that flow over and over made me realize, oh, well, if I could just do this, then I can do fucking anything by myself. By myself is the most important aspect of that, right? But from January 1st, 2023, when I was putting out one song a week, to August 2023, when I was still putting out one song. So think about that's 8 months of me already doing this and getting this new kind of confidence as a producer, as an artist. Something was not clicking. I have all this music, people, Diplo supporting it, all this show, everything. Why the hell is it not happening for me? One day I went on TikTok and some random kid, literally kid, like 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, commented on my thing and said, sick, bro. And I looked at that comment and I was like, and this was before the red jacket and before I started doing all this like kind of like visual branding stuff on my stuff, just still putting out songs, making little clips about it, making little funny videos. I reached out to this kid who, complete stranger, obviously, who TikTok is showing my shit to. And I said, hey, dude, can I ask you a question? What from your complete stranger, what do you think that I do? And he was like, based on like your socials? I'm like, yeah. What do I do? This is a person I have no fucking idea who this is. They're like, you're a comedian? You're a travel blogger? Oh, wait, do you DJ kinda? Okay. So I started having this conversation with a couple of other complete strangers that would comment on my shit. And then I realized, holy shit, nobody has any fucking idea what I'm doing because it's not obvious what I'm doing. I can make the most clever Instagram reel, DJs be like, meh. But if my shit isn't consistently that, it is not up to the audience. That, once again, sometimes you only have 1 second to show them what the fuck you're doing on your page, on your social. no matter how much you believe in social media or you hate it or you think it's the devil, social media is the gateway to the rest of your brand. And if you are not taking it seriously, you're not taking your career seriously. I am telling you this, period. Like I'm sorry, like I wish there was some other way to look at it. This is period, because social media is something you could set up on your own and that you have complete control over. And there are so many good examples of good artist social media out there that we just don't have any excuse anymore to kind of look at ours and go, well, the people will figure it out. People will not figure it out. And that's what I learned from kind of querying these strangers. They were like, are you just kind of like a funny, you make fun of DJ culture while you're on the road? I'm like, is there nothing in what I'm presenting that shows that I'm an artist that's doing this? I was like, nah, to be honest, not really. So I was like, wow, I'm in big fucking trouble, because now I've already spent, 8 months putting all this music out and doing all this effort, but people think that it's just like a comedian thing. So what I realized after that, and you guys can see it kind of over here-ish, right? There's this kind of moment that was happening. I mean, when I was, I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but like when I was DJing, this is how I DJed, in a fucking black t-shirt and fucking shorts. I mean, I was in fucking Mexico, but still, right? Like, there is no, I mean, this was an epic show, but there's no fucking, but to me, this is a missed opportunity, right? So for me, this was a huge show that I played. He was another big show that I played. I played with Galantis. It's a missed opportunity for me, because now, whether I play the greatest DJ set ever, people start crying, whatever the fuck it is, or not, there is no breadcrumbs from that experience when somebody sees me live to come and go, oh, that's the guy that I had this experience with live. Because at this time, when I was playing those shows, it was just LOL, Instagram, DJs be like, haha, new song, completely scattered, completely unfocused. What the fuck is this? Is this guy a hobbyist? Is this guy taking it for real? That's what I decided. Okay, I need some kind of visual identity. So for me, for example, how did I come up? I put a fucking red jacket on, but how did I come up with it? What's the idea behind it? Why am I wearing like a tracksuit? Well, because my family personally is from Soviet Union, so I speak Russian. So growing up, we had these weird fucking uncle dudes, the Slav squad, drinking with the vodka, hanging out in front of the car. So that is a world that I always made fun of and I thought was funny and thought was interesting, but it's a world that I know. It's like a world that I can draw from. It's a world that inside of my own personal culture and upbringing, it's something that I can like take. And there's like the whole like disco aspect of it, all these like Russian dudes in fucking Soviet Union listening to fucking Boney M, like 8 tracks. There was this whole world that I could kind of draw from. And that is the character that I turned Godfather into. Now, with that one little idea of putting on a tracksuit and then playing disco music, I was able to start going deeper and deeper into it, to the point that now there's like a persona that comes out of it, right? I changed the jacket around, like whatever. Again, I'm not saying that I'm a fucking genius for doing this, but what I'm definitely saying is once I started doing this and focusing in on a visual identity in addition to my music, if you guys can see that everything now starts having a glue. Everything that now, and like even my, like all of my tour flyers, like all of this shit. Now, what happens to my brand is it's built to be scrolled past. Does this make sense what I'm saying? It's built to be scrolled past. And what I mean by that is you can say, fuck this guy, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. This is annoying. This is cringe. This is cringe. But on the 65th time, when somebody sees me, they're going to go, okay, what the fuck is this? Okay, let's check it out. And maybe they'll end up fucking with me. Maybe they'll end up liking me. Maybe they'll end up checking out my music. So this is the importance of making some decision about a visual brand. I don't care. I'm not saying you guys all have to put fucking jackets on, but there has to be something. There has to be something with the way you present yourself, with the look. Are you into fashion? Are you into, what the hell are you into? The point is, it has to be something that is at arm's length. Like, for example, I have a friend who right now is trying to do dubstep stuff, and he like puts like a mask on and like does all this shit. He's asking me for advice, and I'm trying to tell him in so many words, this is not authentic to you, and it's very clear. The big robot fucking fake fucking dubstep electricity, I can tell, and the audience can tell that it's not connecting. So what I tell him is, bro, maybe the answer that you're looking for to kind of inject into your brand, and by the way, for those of you just joining us, we're talking about branding, visual branding. Why did I choose the visual branding that I have? And how did I logically come and choose it? It's not close enough to their reality, being a cool robot, whatever, and just that being the thing. Oh, I'm showing up in a mask. It just looks like a guy showed up in a mask, right? And that's why it doesn't connect, because it just looks like someone saw something that worked and took the baseline kind of top of it and slapped it onto what they're doing, and they're continuing to do the exact same thing everyone else is doing. You see how like that is a very difficult world to operate in, because you can't dig, you can't create more out of that, because the buck kind of stops at, I put a mask on. So what I highly encourage all of you to do, so the same way that I kind of, why am I wearing a fucking tracksuit, is because all these funny guys that I grew up with in the fucking Honda Civics, smoking cigarettes and drinking beers, squatting with the Adidas tracksuits, that was a funny character to me. That's a character that I know about because I grew up with those people. I have uncles that were like that. So that to me is the character of Godfather that I'm creating. And now I can do this whole like weird like Russian models, and I can do all these like weird like Russian cartoons. I have like all this like, I have a world like, you know, me like in front of the Russian church right here. I have a world that I can draw from. I have a world that I can consistently be drawing from that sets my brand apart from somebody else's that slaps a mask on. So again, if you're into fucking gardening and you're into fucking motocross, inject that into your brand. Do not separate. Don't be like, I'm a dubstep guy, so I can only do dubstep shit. If you're a dubstep guy that makes dubstep in a fucking garden because you're a gardener, do you realize that now you are in a 100% league of your own? So I encourage you, take the shit that you actually like and care about and know about, and unabashedly inject it into your brand, because that is what's going to make you unique. I'm telling you, you like the answer to what your thing is, your visual thing, your aesthetic thing, like it's right under your nose. It's something that's so obvious that it almost feels cringe, or it almost feels like that's too stupid, that's too simple. I highly encourage you to dig in, because like this stupid image that I have right here, this is I can infinitely take out of this world, infinitely. And it doesn't, I will never run into a roadblock or run out of ideas, because that's a whole world that I can take aesthetic ideas out of, right? So I highly encourage all of you to find your thing. One of the big hacks for me in terms of that has been Pinterest. Like going on Pinterest and just creating mood boards. So if you guys can see, like I go on Pinterest and I straight up just put the mood board with like one of my songs playing at the top. And like Pinterest is a very, very powerful tool for you to just start going. Type in an aesthetic and just start going and start envisioning what are your flyers going to look like? What's your artwork going to look like with a certain aesthetic? Aesthetic is very, very powerful. And the beauty of aesthetics and the beauty of like going and deep diving into it, and this is something that nobody really talks about, because when we're producers, we're like, oh, what fucking synth am I using? That's all great. But at some point, unless you hire somebody to do this for you, and my kind of controversial opinion is, in this day and age, you shouldn't just hire somebody to kind of help you choose your aesthetic. It has to come out of you. Otherwise, it's going to be insincere. And we see that over and over when somebody kind of, again, my homie that puts the mask on, he's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you have to do something that comes out of you organically. And again, going on Pinterest and trolling and looking around and just like making pins. And I know for maybe some of you, maybe that's not like logical. Maybe that's not how you guys would spend a Sunday afternoon. But I promise you, yeah, it's a very, very worth it, because the world building, the aesthetic building, all of that stuff, it goes to boost and help out everything else that you're doing with the music. Let's do a quick questions on this. If anybody has any, get as specific as possible with the questions, and feel free to just chime in. If there are any, then we can move on to content.
Question.
Yes.
What if you don't really have a fan base?
What would you say?
What if you don't really have like a fan base?
In terms of what? In terms of what do you mean?
Followers. I mean, I'm not huge on social media, but
Okay.
I'm there. I'm present. I have been since the beginning of time with this stuff, but I'm not really. I'd rather be creating music than making post. And I feel a lot of producers are kind of like that. So how do you even kind of start getting people to kind of follow and
I'm gonna discuss that immediately after this. So yeah, we're gonna do branding first, and then I'm gonna go to social media content, and I'm gonna explain to you guys the difference between the different kinds of content and all that. So yeah, that is a good question, but we will immediately get back to this in the next section. But does anybody have any other questions about branding? Does my philosophy kind of make sense to you all? Is there anything that I can kind of go deeper on in this? Again, this is a very basic example. Anyone else have any questions?
So I'm curious
Yes.
if you experimented with any other visual aesthetics before landing on the red tracksuit, and if you experimented with anything that was like having a bunch of different outfits that created one cohesive thing versus all red tracksuit all the time.
So that's a good question. So for me, no. Like, I swear that the red tracksuit, you could even see, because you could see this is the first video I did with the red tracksuit. It was literally, I was so fucking freaked out from that conversation that I had with those kids about, yeah, are you a fucking comedian? That I was like, bro, I need to do something fucking right now. And it was almost like a trauma response where I was like, Russian, fucking vodka, fucking disco. Okay, let's go. I swear. And I did it. And it felt natural to me because, again, it's a world that I always, like, me and my friends make fun of growing up. It's like something that I can draw from. So I grabbed it. I ran with it. As you can see, I evolved it. Me and fucking Yellow Show. What the fuck am I doing here? But the point is that I didn't sit there and go, all right, well, the audience is responding 17% male demographic to the jacket. I didn't do any of that shit, because if you do that shit, you're back in square one, where you're fucking waiting for perfection and waiting for. So, dude, because look, these 200 people that fucking like this thing or saw this thing with my fucking sexy legs out in the fucking red jacket, they're not gonna go, I remember when he was. Nobody gives a shit. It's all about the forward momentum. So there's posts that people are not gonna fucking remember. This post, whatever. You just have to kind of go. Like, the experimentation is done in public. Because I'm telling you, once you get your thing, whatever it is, once you finally land on the thing that kind of defines you, trust me, no one's going to go, oh, well, back in fucking January 9th, 2024, you were wearing this. That's completely self-defeating bullshit. So for me, the answer was, I just went until it felt right. And then it just kind of went with it. And dude, I honestly I knew I was on the right track, because I had homies that were coming out and going, yo, that's kind of cringe. I knew I was on the right track when my homies were saying that, because I knew that it's eliciting a reaction to them where they feel uncomfortable. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it means that I'm kind of stepping out of something that they wouldn't do, which I know is kind of making me an outlier. Does that make sense?
Yes, and you are getting to I was going to ask the next question about, like, do you wear the red tracksuit, like, in your daily life when you're like going to the laundromat or something? Because I have like ideas, I have like clothing and an aesthetic, but then, I feel self-conscious about wearing what I wore on my album cover.
Well, like, I mean, here's me in real life, I would dress up very simple, but no, I don't. I mean, sometimes, like, for example, like, there's strategic things that I do, and I don't give a fuck to admit this. Like, for example, on New Year's Eve, I went and I played with where Wookie was playing, and I knew he was going to play my song. I put on like a red jacket because I knew this was going to be a video op. I knew it was going to be a photo op. I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, this is all theater. It's all theater. It's all about getting moments. That's just for me. This is just how I operate. If I'm just going to go to a show and chill with people, whatever, that's one thing. But I just knew that there was going to be cameras on me. I knew there was going to be all this shit happening. Like, I knew that I had to, like, right? So I kind of did incognito, but now people are coming up to me, taking photos with me at the show. There's a lot kind of more to it at that point. I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but to me, it was a testament to me when I was just wearing the red jacket, walking around on a day that I wasn't playing at this festival in San Francisco. The amount of people that were coming up to me and going, gosh, father, taking a photo. I wasn't trying to sit there and go, oh, I'm cool. What I sat there and thought was, it's working. The thing is working. The recognition is working. The brand recognition is working, right? Someone come up to me and goes, gosh, father, disco. You see how now I'm 180 degrees away from fucking weird travel comedian guy. Oh, the comedian guy, right? And the other really important thing that I didn't mention here was pinned posts on your profile. all of my again, maybe this is a trauma response of those combos that I have with those kids, but all of my pinned posts are me playing a sick fucking show. This pinned post operates, has two functions. This first pin post was from a huge post that I ran up, a huge show that I ended up playing with Flosstradamus and Yellow Claw, so fucking random. But this post over here functions. So this post functions as like a performance thing because it was a sick show. This is just an epic show that I was playing. But this one functions as almost like an intro to who I am, because on that mic, when somebody happened to catch the video of it, I talk about like what I do and who I am in it. But it's also a sick show. So if anybody, random kid off fucking TikTok, lands on my page because they like my shit, or off Instagram, whatever, the first things that they click on, they're going to there's not going to be a question of, is this person an artist or a hobbyist? What are they? So that's another really important thing that I noticed, that a lot of people, a lot of artists, they pin like their best performing video to the top. You got to pin one video on the left here that kind of talks about you, your sound, your journey, if possible, whether it's through something like this, or it's literally a video or a carousel that you make about yourself. It's like, hey, my name is da-da-da. Here's my sound. Here's this kind of stuff that I make. Maybe it's a carousel like that. Maybe a sick lit performance video, and then maybe just something else performance video. That, again, because we sometimes have 1 second when a person comes onto our profiles for them to make a snap judgment on who we are. And once this is called having empathy, and we're gonna get into this in the next section with social media content creation. It's called having empathy for the viewer. Empathy for the viewer. If there's one thing that you guys take from this conversation, is when someone says this DJ, people come to me, gosh, Father, you have great branding. Okay, so what does great branding mean? Does great branding mean I have a good logo? Does it mean that I wear a fucking red jacket? What does great branding mean? Great branding. I don't care if you're trying to be a fucking ballerina or a fucking DJ, or you're trying to fucking become a lawyer. Great branding equals obvious branding. Great branding equals obvious branding. I'm the guy who, I'm the guy that, I'm the guy who, for people that, The minute a stranger on the internet, I don't care if you make the most fucking genius viral video of all time, and this is why a lot of times when people go viral, it doesn't do shit for them whatsoever for their career, because the rest of their shit is completely incoherent. For me, I'm the guy that wears the fucking tracksuit and that makes disco. The red jacket that makes disco house music, and I fucking headbang. It's two elements slapped together and goodbye. You could say, fuck this guy, I hate him, or oh, I fucking love this guy. You need to be able to give the strangers that are coming and finding you an ability to make a snap judgment. What you never want the strangers to come and do is he a comedian? Is he a travel blogger? You're fucking done. Nobody, because no one has time. Time is currency. Time is the dollar. When somebody comes onto your page for 4 seconds and they have no fucking idea what they're doing, they just wasted their money on you. And you, in return, don't get any of that money, aka attention and time, because if your shit is presented incoherently and not obvious, then there's a disconnect. The wires are not crossed together. So when that person randomly finds you from your genius video and pictures of your dog and pictures of screen caps of you playing a video game and a kind of like random thing of you like setting up your studio, you're screwed. So now for me, I have created a situation on my page where if somebody accidentally falls over and wakes up at my page, there's no question that they get to see or at least understand in the first couple of seconds what the fuck it is that I'm doing on here. So I behoove all of you, go take a look at your profiles and really, really, really ask yourself, does this look coherent? Why are there pictures of me in my from my fucking Little League game? Why are there pictures of me fucking in Hawaii fucking hiking with my shirt off and then a random picture or video of me DJing? Good branding is not a sick logo and sick graphics. It's obvious. If you're not obvious, you're losing people every minute that they come to your page. I really want to drive that home. So branding, find something that's at arm's length, integrate it into your brand. You like fucking Pokemon and you like fucking badminton, integrate that into your fucking dubstep brand. And I promise you, you're going to stand out. You're going to find you're going to actually be speaking to a group of people versus just trying to speak to everybody with your music and with your brand. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Unless there's any other questions about this, I think it's pretty. I think I've made it a little clear, right?
I have a little one. I was
Yes, hit
wondering
me, JB. Yeah.
if there's any other artists who you think are like killing it with branding that are good to kind of sort of bite off
Beautiful.
to.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's go several here. So here's another disco guy. Now this guy's a very good homie of mine. Okay. So now I'm a random person. I fell onto this guy's page. Okay. What the fuck does this guy do? Oh, damn. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Do you see that that's how my experience just went? Does that make sense? Oh, what the fuck does this guy do? Oh, there's no resistance to what the fuck what the answer to my question the question is. Here's another guy. This is obviously guy's a household name, but again, I'm going to show you. All right, what the fuck is this guy? Oh, let's see here. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Done. Right? There's no static. There's no difficulty for me to get what's going on here. Right? Like I don't even have to think twice. Oh, it's a lit touring DJ that incorporates guitars into his music. I don't even have to listen to the music. I know we want to think that our music speaks for ourselves or all this stuff. I want that too. But again, we have to have empathy for the fucking the traveler through the internet that lands on us. If we're not giving them, again, would you buy, like if you had an amazing sushi chef, okay, and the sushi chef came up to you in an alleyway and said, hey, you want some sushi in a dark alley? You are not going to fucking accept the sushi from the world's greatest sushi chef. But if a sushi chef goes and offers you sushi in a beautiful restaurant that you go and you sit down and the waiter comes, you're going to have some sushi. It's because you are in the correct venue. You're in the correct uptake mechanism for whatever this greatness or whatever this thing, whatever this experience is about to be. When an artist has a completely incoherent social media or they don't take it super seriously, trust me, the average person who you want to be your fan will absolutely not take you seriously either, no matter how much you are Mozart and Skrillex fucking combined second coming of fucking everyone. I'm telling you this because you have to look at it from the other side of the consumer. They have so many options already that are already done better. The only way that we can compete against Skrillex or The Weeknd or fucking Calvin Harris is by at least having a very minimum like decorum when it comes to how we're presenting it. And I'm not saying everything has to be like crazy, like fucking you have to go and pay somebody thousands of dollars. It has to just be well thought out. It has to just be like somebody came in here and arranged things in a way where I am understanding when I'm clicking on random things what it is that I'm dealing with. It can't, if you want it to be taken as a hobby, then you present it as a hobby. If you want it to be taken serious, how you guys are serious about your music, you have to have a degree of seriousness in the way that you're presenting it. Otherwise, you can't blame the audience for going, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm going to go back to Skrillex. I'm going to go back to The Weeknd. I'm going to go back to Sullivan King. You can't blame them. So again, and guys, I'll after this, I'll send, obviously in like the conversation, I'll send some more examples of like who's got like really good branding. One more really one I want to show you is this girl kind of is more like, again, look at how she uses the highlights, LA tour shows, music here, boom. She has the red hair thing, which is like the equivalent of my red jacket thing. But look, there's no questions about what she's doing. Okay, this isn't like take away like imagine like all of the photographs that she has of her. Imagine if they were just done on an iPhone instead. Okay, if we could say, oh, well, I don't have a fancy camera, just do this photo on an iPhone. It's the same effect. It's not about the quality of the camera. It's about what's being shot with the camera. If this was done on a Samsung Galaxy, it's still the red girl with the red hair looking into the camera, and she's a fucking DJ. She's an artist. Do y'all see what I'm saying? There's no questions going on. She's in the studio. She's a DJ. She's traveling. The show. She's stage diving. This is what I'm talking about. Someone looks at it and goes, whoa, who the fuck is this? And you give them a chance to go, this sucks, I'm not into it, or fuck yeah, I want to be a part of this. But if it's incoherent, if it's you fucking in Oahu, or it's you with grandma eating potato salad, and it's you and your dog, and then you gaming, and then one thing of you DJing, why the fuck would anybody spend time looking at your page? You got to go hard on yourself. Because then if you don't go hard on yourself and really take some self-assessment, then we start, a lot of artists that I see, they start slipping into this, oh, well, Mark Zuckerberg's trying to drag me down, social media ruined music. No, it's easy to say that. It's an easy cop-out to say that, but have you tried? Have you really given it an honest try and looked around at people who it's working for and then taken it and compared it to what you're doing? Okay. So with that said, let's move on to social media content, which is this is the one that everyone goes, holy fucking shit. Let's go right here. Where the hell is it? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hit me. If you have any questions, keep going.
Just one quick question.
Yes, hit me.
Oh, I love you. So I'm trying to think about rebranding my party that you played.
Yes, sir. Incredible party. Shouts out.
It's very popular in Kansas City. And I'm just trying, I'm getting some copyright strikes because it's of the name, because it's tied to something else. So
sure.
I'm trying to figure out a logical way. Everything you're saying about make it obvious, for my personal brand, because it kind of ties into my party a lot.
Yes.
But, I want it to be, as I'm brainstorming that, once I get what that is, it's not gonna be too different from the concept of the party. Very popular. Any quick suggestions as far as once I nail that down, how to kind of bleed that into my audience, saying, hey, Love Boat is pulling into its new port at this, or do you have any suggestions? Because I want to get copyright striked. I'm sick of that. So
okay, cool. So with your situation, and you have this thing which we're gonna get into this too, but you have this thing called leverage, right? And leverage is something that a lot of artists don't realize that they need to have, but they don't have. And we're gonna talk about different ways to cultivate that as an artist. But for you have leverage because you already have a local following. You've built trust. So branding, right? Any kind of branding, whether it's for an artist or for a party. Branding also, in addition to it being obvious, branding is it's a dance of who can build trust most efficiently with an audience of strangers that then become fans. Yeah. That makes sense? So with you and your situation with your party, people trust you, people love you, people show up to the thing. I think the beauty of your situation is you can rename it anything at this point, dude. You could literally just say, hey, from the people that brought you Love Boat comes horseshoes. I just fucking off the dome, okay? Now, if horseshoes is not copyright strike or whatever the hell you want to call it, now you could just world build. You could start giving out invitations in the shape of a horseshoe. You can start bring fucking horses to stand in front of the thing, have a cowboy fucking bartender. You could do whatever the hell you want, but it's just about taking what you did, basically keeping the quality from that first party, keeping the intention and keeping the trust and being hey, I'm going to do this new thing and I'm not going to betray your trust. It's going to be the same. Essentially, that's what you're signaling to your audience, right? I'm going to keep the same energy, the same kind of production, the same kind of attention to detail, but now we're going to be called Horseshoe. And the beauty is if your original party never comes back, they're only going to remember you by your last party. So if you're going to be called Horseshoe from now on for the rest of your days,
as long you're only as good as your last party.
But what I'm saying is in terms of branding, because really people are coming because of you and the crew that put together. As much as you think that it's about the party, it's about because they trust you.
Right.
Period, dude. And trust me, that's what it comes down to. So, and then the beauty is and then the copyright thing is really important because if you can get past that and land on the name of a party or the name of an artist, I'm trying to liken this to everything, that you don't have to worry about that bullshit. Then, dude, the next logical step is, there's a huge festival coming to Kansas City. Why don't we get a horseshoe stage at Kansas City? Because they know that you're going to sell X amount of tickets. You have this kind of mailing list. That's leverage. And that's how what you're doing grows. Because when the brand is so big and it's confident and it's not mired with the copyright shit, that's how you get bigger and bigger. So honestly, for me, dude, I say just change the name, try a new party, and just say the people that created present. And dude, I think it'll be fine. But you got to it's got to be something that you're willing to kind of go the long haul with, right?
No, it's great. Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure. Any other questions about branding? Because I kind of want to move on to social here, ladies and gentlemen.
I have one question. I don't know.
Yes, Chris, hit me.
Really branding, but
sure.
How do you convey what you're playing, your music, right? Through social media.
Okay.
A lot of people, obviously my page speaks to I'm a DJ. I think people understand that.
Sure.
But a lot of people are always what kind of music do you play? Well, what kind of, even on social media, when they reach out and they say, hey, I want to come to your show, it's usually a follow-up by what kind of music can I expect?
Sweet. So that brings me to part 2, which is content. So now I'm glad you asked that because I'm about to show you guys a group that you've never seen. I've never seen them as of literally like an hour before. I was just scrolling and this came up on my feed. I'm going to like hopefully slam dunk answer your question right now. Now let's watch a completely fucking random video that probably nobody has seen yet. Can you guys hear it?
No, can't hear it.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh, dude, hold on. That's part of the fucking experience, dude. Hold on.
I can't hear it now.
No. You guys got to hear, dude. Watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now watch. Here we go. Ready? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
All right. Okay. 3 seconds of watching that video. We got everything. We know what song, what music they're playing. We know what they fucking look like. We know what the attitude is. But the most important thing is we now have the opportunity to go, fuck this sucks, or holy fuck, this is sick. What you don't want ever to happen is, is a fate worse than death. If someone goes, it's cool, you don't want that. You want someone to go, this is a fucking affront to fucking music, fuck you, and you want them to comment that. Or you want them to go, this shit changed my life. You don't want And the way you don't get is by going balls out. So I'm not saying we all have to go do ghetto metal and that's supposed to be our next thing. But what I'm saying is, once again, fucking obvious. So Chris, to answer your question, what kind of music should I expect? If you're going to make content, and the content can be as simple as you just DJing in front of a wall with some text up top, right? Share low effort and repeatable. One more time. This is the most important thing. Believe it or not. So this video right here, how much should this video cost them to make? Nothing. Get the boys together that we're going to be together anyway on a fucking Friday. Bust out the iPhone with the little shitty Temu fucking lamp on it. Put the lip sync it and then put the music over in post and then put a text on top. Now you've got 359,000 fucking likes on it. People going pure energy. Holy shit, fire. If you have some shit to share, just roll the fucking camera. Roll the camera, put the text on top. The more you can show through your content, very, very obviously what it is you're doing, the less people have to ask questions like that. I guess the bottom line is, if people ask you questions like that, and again, the beauty is it's a very simple fix. I'm not saying you're screwed where you are. It's a very simple fix. People ask you, what kind of music?
Your vocals are going out.
Oh, shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was about to say the same.
All broken out.
Sorry. Check. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, cool. The answer to your question, Chris, is if people are still asking you questions like that about what kind of music should I expect, it means you're not making enough content. Low effort and repeatable. I'm not saying get the 4K camera. I'm saying fucking iPhone. Period. iPhone. Get fucking Samsung Galaxy at this point. I don't care. iPhone with you doing a transition with the text at the top of the screen. You're going to be doing it anyway. You love music. You're making music all the time. But the thing is, when you go and you create these videos over and over, lo-fi, repeatable, that feature your way of thinking, your view of the world with music, then you put yourself in a situation where your reputation precedes you. And when your reputation precedes you, oh, that's Chris. That's the guy that mixes and rant. Not only do people now understand what the hell it is you're doing, the phone starts ringing for you to get booked. Does that make sense? Not every video has to be a million fucking viral. Trust me, guys, none of my videos, oh my gosh, father shit, really go viral. But I'm getting booked fucking nonstop because I fill a gap in the market. I'm not tech house. I'm not big room. I'm not techno. I'm this other thing that when people are sick of that or have booked too much of that, I'm this new option to kind of put in there. And people only know about me because even though maybe I'll get like 5,000 views on something, it's the right 5,000 views. Promoters, talent buyers, agents, managers are always fucking looking at me because I'm consistent. And a lot of my shit, dude, it's just an iPhone and CapCut and my music put over it. I am not. I don't have a team. I barely just got management like 2 months ago, and they're only helping with like answering fucking emails and stuff. Everything that you guys have seen for the past 2 years has been this. Me in this room. All of my music, by the way, was produced, mixed, and mastered on these fucking G Pro Logitech headphones. Because where I live right now, I can't have monitors. I haven't used studio monitors in like 3 years. It's all me. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is it can be all you too. If I can fucking do it, you guys absolutely can fucking do it. But it's just a question of understanding how to coherently frame yourself. Once again, I keep coming back to this. I keep coming back to this is because once you see that, you can't forget that, because it's laser focused into what exactly it is, and it's fearless in putting out what the hell it is. This comes, you see, like content comes back with branding. It comes back with everything. So let's look at some more ones, right? Here's another one. Two camera angles. Okay. We don't even have to fucking watch the whole thing, because now, old guy that does techno. It's game over. Now we get it. We're locked in. We understand what we saw. Boom. So again, it comes back to the thing that I was saying about branding. What is your thing? A lot of you are like, I make D&B, but there's more to you than that. What's the other thing? What's the other, and you don't have to look for it. What is the thing that you currently are? What are you that makes D&B? What are you that makes techno? Lean into the thing that isn't on market, because that connection of the two things, get a medal, old guy techno. Like it's they're just using the thing that they like or are that's right at arm's length, and then guess what? Part two, take the fucking iPhone out and press the red button. There's no effects and cuts and clever fucking meh. It's just what you are being shown. So I'm trying to like encourage all of you guys. How do I make content? Press the fucking button. Press the fucking button and upload it and put some text on there. The longer you guys wait to not do it, the more the anxiety is going to build up, the more you're going to psych yourselves out, the more you're going to think that it has to be perfect, the more you're going to doom scroll and compare yourself to other people. You have no time to do that. Start being a piece of shit at first. Be a piece of shit at first, because what's going to happen in the human mind, we suck. And then we get bored of sucking. But you have to do something enough via creating low effort and repeatable content to realize that you're bored so you can become better. Oh, I'm bored of sucking. I'm going to add in now another element. Oh, I have a cute dog that accidentally walked into one of my videos and now everybody loves the dog. Well, maybe now the dog is part of the videos. Do you see what I'm saying? But you can't get to that level unless you're constantly experimenting. I'm going to show you guys another really fucking weird example. This is a really weird example, but just look at this. Okay, fucking whatever the fuck you want to say about that. It's hella fucking weird. It's a weird chick and her boyfriend. She's rapping hella weird. But that's what she does. It's not like she's going on and like putting on, I'm gonna rap weird. She's fucking weird. But she's there with the iPhone, with the microphone, dressed in a fucking weird PJs and doing her thing. She's not an influencer. She's not on the beach with, in a bikini showing it and trying to get like, she just is doing her thing. Now, it makes me wonder how many of us are there out there who are kind of fucking weird, who are just doing weird shit, but we just think, oh, well, that can't possibly be what people would be interested in. That can't possibly be what would get like a community built around me that supports me. Look at the fucking numbers this chick does, dude. Like, it's insane. Like, they're fucking going on tour. They're going on tour. What the fuck? So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, the diamonds, the gold, the thing that sets you apart is already there. It's in your room where you're sitting with me right now, or as you're sitting watching me right now. It's already there. But we're thinking too much about other people. We're thinking about what's our bro from what's our homie from high school that works at fucking Arby's is gonna think about the reel I'm about to post. You gotta fucking ignore everybody. You need to ignore every single person you know, even people that are your contemporaries. Ignore them. Unless they're grinding, unless they also are doing this experimenting, trying shit out thing, ignore what they have to say or have to think about you. I'm telling you this right now. I'm giving you permission to go and do fucking cringe, stupid shit until you figure it out. Pressing 9:16, press the red button, put some text on top of the screen so when people are scrolling on mute, they can go, oh, techno multiplied by Disney. Whatever the fuck it is that you want to do, whatever the hell your special thing is. Have the little text at the top of the screen, have you in your creative place doing your thing, put the music over it, and don't tell me it didn't work until you've done like 20 of those. Then let's say, yo, mission failure, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But it's not until you do a fucking humongous amount of this stuff, simple, lo-fi, repeatable, one camera angle, one you, one song, one text, you got to just do it. Let's see what else we got. That's not a good example because it's not his song. Oh, here we go. Y'all, like this shot right here that this guy's doing. You can take this literal to the bank. So when the other thing about social media content creation, right, is there's no more creative geniuses. We're done. No more being creative. What we're going to do from now on is we're going to take this and we're going to break it into an algebra equation. The step one, the shot is like this, 9:16. It's you kind of tilted up or whatever the hell it is with the guitar player, DJ, whatever the fuck it is. One piece of text in the middle, like this, that makes people want to engage, Describe how this guitar riff makes you feel using one word. Boom, you have a bunch of people commenting. Maybe it won't happen in your first 10 videos, but trust me, it will eventually if you're consistent with it. And then, of course, the most important piece of the puzzle, your song in the video, or you performing a piece of music that you created in the video. Y'all can do this all fucking day, and it will never get old. I'm assuming that a lot of the people that are in this call, no one's ever had a video kind of pop off before. I guarantee you, if you just took 10 different one of your songs and did 10 different kind of videos with 10 different kind of quotes like this, one of them will pop off more than ordinary. Because this is the structure that people consume on these apps. You notice how he's not going, new song out today, link in bio, check out my tune. This banger is, he just is allowing people to discover him. And that brings me to the next and kind of final thing that I will do, and then I'm going to take questions is, do you guys notice that all the videos, and you guys kind of see these other ones too, all the videos that I showed you, do you notice, it's the most important thing, and this is when you guys can get this about social media content, I promise you, it's a light switch that you will never go back from. Do you notice that in all these videos, there is no sell? There is no my new tune out. Check out my song. Spotify now stream. And also, you don't need any context. I don't need to know what this guy's name is. I don't need to know what fucking BPM it's in. I don't need to know what the thing he's using to produce with. I can just watch it. Again, same with this. I don't need any context, even listening to this shit on mute. I don't need any context. I don't need to know the name of the band. I don't need to know fucking anything to be able to at least give it a second, go, what the fuck is this? This, my friends, is called growth content. Why am I not growing when I'm posting all the time? It's because for a lot of you are posting the track art with the song over it. When was the last time that you went onto a social media platform to look for some brand new track art videos with the song on it? Never, ever in the history. Definitely, maybe if you're an artist, but definitely not if you're a fucking random civilian, aka the people who are going to be our fans one day. So this is called growth content. I don't need to know anything about you in order to sit there and watch and potentially listen and discover. Because I guarantee you, so much of the comments that are on these videos, if you scroll down, you'll notice, what song is this? Is this song available on Spotify? Can't find it on YouTube. What's the name of the artist? When somebody discovers, what's the point of social media? If somebody discovers you off a video like this, they are more invested in actually going and seeking you out than if you blew your chance with them the first time they saw you by going, new song out now. I'm playing this weekend come check out my thing. Link in bio. The minute you do that, you've scared off the hot girl at the bar. Okay, it's done. It's not happening. You can't just go with that on the first show. Instead, you got to give them something. What genre are we calling this? Intrigue, camera angle, interesting. you give people the opportunity to go, yo, what is this? Right? So I highly encourage you, take salesy, check out my new tune, new song out now. Don't do any of that shit on socials. Do it maybe if you're doing like an announcer for a song, do that. If you're going to announce a song, do it with a carousel. Okay. My whole thing right now is like, if you're going to post a flyer or announce a song, do it in carousel format. And the way that you do it is post a video of you performing live, post a cool photo of you performing, a personal photo, maybe a photo of you in the studio, and the very last thing should be the track artwork, because you have to give people something else that isn't the sell for them to get to the sell. Because this is how people operate on these apps. And to be honest, guys, this is how you operate on these apps. One of the biggest advice that I always give people when it comes to social media is, you guys know what an incredible piece of social media content is, because you guys, each and every one of you, I don't care if you hate social media or love social media, each one of us have had experienced the catharsis of randomly seeing a video, going, whoa, and then sending it to a buddy that you know would like it, right? We've all done that. So in our head, we can identify almost instinctually what is a good piece of content. You have to just start thinking, imagine if those pieces of content that would make me go, whoa, got to send it to the group chat. What if I took the foundation of what made that compelling and put my face on it and my music in the background of it? Now we're becoming creators, not observers. We're becoming participators, not observers, when we start looking at things completely differently like that. Do you guys see the difference? And so the difference between growth content, which is, I keep coming back to this because it's like you only need 2 seconds to understand what's going on. The other is nurture content. Nurture content is Instagram stories. Nurture content is, hey guys, new song out now. Nurture content is, hey guys, I'm having a meetup before my show, pizza party. I want to, tag your 10 best friends that we're going to come. Nurture content is when you talk to the people that you brought into your community from when you have successful growth content, right? So if you have people from here that are like, oh, I fucking love ghetto metal, you bring them into your Discord, you bring them into your email list, you bring them into your SMSs, you bring them into your WhatsApp group, you bring them into an Instagram DM chat. That is the people that you're speaking to when you're saying out now. Right? Earlier I said, oh, never say that stuff, but you have to say it to somebody. So if there is somebody to say it to, it's the people that are already your community. But just don't expect to grow and find new people when you're saying stuff like out now, come to my show, pizza party before my thing, join my Discord. That kind of conversation, it's called nurture content. This is growth. Check out my new song out now is nurture. Does that make sense? So I know, obviously, as you guys can see, I'm very passionate about this, because I guess I'm really passionate about this is because I see, I'm on Instagram threads a lot. I'm sure you guys probably know it. And like the biggest thing that I see is people having extreme frustrations with social media content. And I am making it my fucking crusade to show people, yes, it's not easy to understand, but if everybody could understand social media content, everybody would be famous. Everybody would be touring. That's not how it fucking works. Anything that's worth understanding and worth helping you become more successful with your art and creativity, it's not going to come easy. So my thing is, I'm trying to do my best to explain it in as least complicated words and examples as possible for you guys to at least begin the journey of going, okay, you know what? I fucking learned how to engineer a song. I learned how to write a song. I learned how to mix and master my own music. I can figure out 10-second fucking videos on Instagram Reels. That's what I want to empower you guys with. You guys are already doing something much more difficult. You guys are musicians. You guys are artists. You guys are able to create something that 0.0001% of the world can do. Right? So I just want to show you, coming at it from the same kind of perspective will really empower you guys to be able to make this stuff, and it'll help grow your music and grow your brand. Okay, ask me questions. Hit me. No.
One,
yeah, hit me.
It might be kind of
No. Just
days,
hit me.
So with TikTok, like, do you see a difference with that and Reels? I know TikTok's kind of out of the equation right now.
TikTok's back, by the way. It's back now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's news to me. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I've seen a lot more success with TikTok. I've had some videos kind of pop off. Reels, I don't know what the sauce is. Same content,
yeah, it's the same thing. Honestly, Reels is just recycled TikToks. The only difference on Reels is on Reels you kind of need a concept. How do I explain this? You need it's more concept reliant than TikTok is. For those of you that don't know, and for those of you, it's funny because like now when this whole TikTok ban thing is happening, I've honestly built my entire career in the past couple of years with almost zero TikTok in terms of like emphasis, in terms of like having a TikTok strategy that's different from Reels. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, it's funny. This shit almost got taken away. I'm going to go hard this year on it. And what I noticed on TikTok is you have the luxury compared to Reels. You can just yap into the screen with a little text at the top of the screen that kind of says the general thesis of your yap and just go ham. You will get an audience because if you could say, as a musician, that's the hack, right? I've been a producer for X amount of years and see, just having that preamble to your yap, you now are identifying the group of people to be able to look at you and say, oh, this guy's a producer. I've always been interested in the perspective of, or, oh, fuck this guy. That's it. Remember, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy and I hate your shit, you guys, is as important as I love this guy and I love their shit. Please realize the power of like slight controversy, or if you don't want to call it controversy, the power of standing on business on an opinion that you organically have, that you genuinely have an opinion about. Do not shy away from that. Do not shy away from that because that's how you build up an army of people. That's how you really get people that get entrenched in the way that you see the world as a human, as an artist, and thus they're more receptive to checking out your art. Please remember that. Next time you have an opinion, don't just write it or text it to your friend. Turn the camera on, fucking say it. As a DJ, I'm done with, as a producer, I can't believe that, hit it. That's TikTok. That's the beauty of TikTok because then it will give you legs. It'll open up conversations. You'll actually meet real humans that you can have real kind of conversations with. In terms of with Reels, like I want to say, it's just a little bit more concept heavy. Like I said, I keep on coming back to my favorite video of the day. It has to be like the setup and the resolution has to be kind of right there because people are snacking. I feel like TikTok is almost like a social club, right? When people can come in, go to different tables and start having a chat. Here it's like you're at a concert with infinity rooms that you can go into and watch a show. Right? There's shows happening. There's this kind of show happening. There's this show happening. There's this show happening. But there has to be a show happening, right? It can't be like, what's up, everybody? It just has to be, we're walking right in while the band's jamming, right? If that kind of makes sense. So kind of save the more kind of concepts for Reels. Well, and honestly, this might change, like you said, in a week because now Reels has expanded to 3 minutes. I don't know if you guys know this. They're now allowing 3 minutes. So if you guys, the goal of every single social media platform is that they want to keep you on the platform as long as possible to serve more ads. Just so you guys realize that that's the underlying thing. So that's why the more addictive kind of visuals or like the more like interesting kind of yaps and stuff, they're trying to compete now. Meta is trying to compete with YouTube. Eventually you're going to have full on like, hour-long videos are going to be allowed on Reels, but that's down the line because they want to compete with YouTube because they realize the market share that YouTube has, being able to run fucking 3 ads on a 30-minute video on Reels that'll change their business model forever. They'll be making, $200 billion a year instead of $100 billion a year, right? So that's ultimately the goal. So the Reels might be changing to like a Yap platform in the coming weeks to compete with whatever's happening with YouTube, TikTok. So something to think about there. But yeah, for now, Reels just give people jump right in. Just go right into it, right? Don't do setups. Just go boom. We're getting right in there, Boom. This is one of my favorites right here. One camera shot, just one dude walking forward, being himself, not copying someone. And just try to think, like, what is it the thing that people sometimes call you out on for being weird or whatever? Maximize that. Be you. I hate when somebody says be yourself. That to me is the most fucking bullshit advice of all time. Because what if you're a fucking axe murderer? Please don't be yourself. But what I'm saying is like, if there's something quirky about you, if there's something that's like really something that you're like, I don't know if this is going to be professional. That is going to be the thing that changes your life, whatever that fucking thing is. I'm telling you. One more time. This what we're seeing, that's that guy. This guy didn't go to fucking acting school for 5 years to look cool. This is this guy, and you take it or leave it, or that's it. We have to think about when we're making content, how can we do that? How can we give people a take it or leave it option? This guy's fucking annoying. Perfect. They left you that comment, and now you're getting shown to more people. This guy is fucking amazing. I'm his fan. Perfect. Now you have a fan, and it's a comment, and they're showing it to more people. It's a win-win if you can get somebody to really get a visceral reaction from you because of you being authentic. Okay. Any other questions about this?
I'm curious if
Hit me.
you have any guidelines on like
Yes.
using Cadence and like balancing different types of content on Instagram or on TikTok or any of the platforms?
Okay, so the cadence is as much as you can. All this bullshit, like, well, first off, just so you guys understand this, follower count is null. Follower count doesn't mean anything whatsoever anymore because of the nature of the algorithm. Let me tell you why follower count doesn't matter and why shares are the most high. Shares at a watch time are the highest weighted metrics in all of social media. Follower count is the most easy. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's the most easy to fake metric of all the metrics, to the point that if you have like an enemy, they can go and they can buy you 1 million followers to fuck your account up. That's how easy it is. Somebody with $50 can buy you 1 million followers right now. So followers is the most easily faked metric. So internally in all these platforms, they had to figure out, well, fuck, we can't use followers as a metric to if we're showing this content to people or not. So followers is pretty much a vanity metric just for the person to, like, literally it has basically no bearing. That's why a lot of creators get frustrated. I have 100,000 followers and it's not getting shown to anybody. Well, I don't have the heart to say this to people sometimes because, listen, the undertaking to go and get 100,000 followers is incredible. But bro, they're making the same content they were making in 2016. I'm sorry, bro, but that's not how people consume content anymore. Like you just can't do it. So to answer your question, there really is no cadence because the way that it's weighted now is if somebody sees it and they're compelled to comment on it and share it, you can potentially, and this is not like some fairy tale, this is happening every single day and you can see it every single day. You can get shown to 100x, 1,000x the amount of people that your follower count is if the content is compelling enough. Everybody has a chance. And this is why I tell people say that I'm fucking, I don't know, like, they say I'm like a shill for Mark Zuckerberg or something like that. Okay, great. But the truth is, this is the easiest time to fucking get to blow up as an artist in human history because of how the algorithm works right now. I'm telling y'all, if you guys have not had success or have not had the amount of people that you think you deserve on a video, seeing your content and stuff, guys, it really just comes down to format. That's it. It's not because you suck or you're bad or you're a piece of shit, can't make music. It's because the format is incoherent to how, number one, you as a human using the app would consume a piece of content, and number two, how the majority of people consuming the app would piece of content. People think that it's like, oh, I have to do a TikTok dance and be cringe. No, you just have to present it in a format that people are used to seeing it. And once you get good with that format, break the format, but break the format where you have eyeballs. So there's your answer to cadence. Keep experimenting until something very obviously hits different. And the two metrics to look at are comments and shares. The minute you start seeing shares, that means, uh-oh, I'm fucking doing something, because shares cannot be faked. Shares cannot be faked. Shares are I can pay $1,000 and I can't get you 10,000 shares. I can get you 1 million followers. I cannot get you 10,000 shares. So shares are the most most difficult to fake and the most highest weighted metric. So keep on pushing stuff, keep on experimenting stuff, lo-fi and repeatable, lo-fi and repeatable. A quote that I heard that really was a game changer for me was, and try to understand what I'm saying here with this. It's supposed to take you less energy to make the content than the energy you get from having posted it. Does that make sense? So one more time, it takes less energy. It should take you less energy to make the content than the energy you get from posting it. So what that means is, if you're going and sitting there in your room and you do like a little zoom in and it's like one single camera and it's a thing and it's your song playing and it's a little quote, what if Skrillex and Fred again had a baby? Or what if Skrillex and Dumb Dollar had a baby? What would it sound like? And that took you 3 minutes, but you can now make 20 of those in one sitting. And while other people it takes them 1 hour to make one video, do you see how you're at a humongous leveraged advantage right there? So it should take you less energy to create that content. So even if in that video that took you 2 minutes and you get only 100 views, that's 100 people for 2 minutes. That's pretty fucking good. Does that make sense what I'm saying, guys? Don't do that.
What was the second half of that? The less energy to make content.
It should take you less energy to make the content than the energy you get from the result of you uploading it. Right? So create something that comes back to this lo-fi repeatable. Just a camera zooming in, or just you in a gorgeous location, you in a unique location, your song over it with a text over it, or maybe you're in such a crazy unique location, you're doing something so kind of cool on camera, maybe you don't need a text over it. But again, the text over it just helps because people are scrolling on mute. 75% of people are scrolling on mute. So if you have a text thing at the top of the screen, you know, it gives them kind of a reason to give you a little extra chance to check out what we're listening to. Because at the core of it, it's the music that's important. It's the artist that's important, right? So listen, the dirty secret is I also fucking hate social media. I think it's bullshit that we have to do this. But if we can take advantage of it, I call this free distro. Take advantage of the free distro. Right? Back in the day, you had to, when I first started out in dance music, you had to kiss the fucking butthole of some guy that worked at a blog. And if he didn't fucking answer your email, you don't exist at all. You don't exist. Your music doesn't exist. Bye-bye. You have no, you could, I spent 2 years on this song. It doesn't exist because this fucking guy didn't open your email. Now, anybody can do anything they want. This exists. Whoa! Millions of people watching that. This is the playing field has been leveled for shitty, weird fucking people and for you guys. So we got to take advantage of it, right? However, whether it's we fucking do the lo-fi and repeatable and keep fucking hacking away at it, sit down for like 1 hour on Sunday and make fucking 20 videos of just the fucking camera zooming in, change our t-shirts in front of the fucking DJ decks and put a little different thing on it. Whatever the fuck it takes, dude, let's be scrappy. Let's be scrappy, right? Let's be scrappy until this shit works for us. And then we can look back and fucking make a judgment call, blah, blah, blah. Jeff, I'm sorry. I know you had a very simple question. I just hit you with a 30-minute answer, but does that make sense?
That was what I needed.
Okay, good. Anybody else have more questions, and then we'll get onto the production stuff? Because I can feel my camera about to die here. I got to use my screen time here logically. Anybody else, guys? Please, there's no stupid questions. Please ask. Please, like if there's something that was always like burning question about social, hit me with it right here because I really want to make sure I covered everything because we're gonna go all for it. Hit me.
So when you were making a song like once a week, I think you said back in 23. So when you were posting that online, was it mainly, were you doing like on your story? Were you posting it like on your Instagram account itself? Like, how did you balance that? Like, did you like promote the ones you thought were mainly bangers and you talked about those ones more? Or was it just consistent, post story? How did you work on that?
Song, artwork, post, story, hyped it. Okay, cool. I should have covered that too, huh? Fuck. Well, okay, so like when I released the song, I mean, I finished the song, mixed and mastered it, created the artwork. I had a template for the artwork because I was like, I don't want to think too much about this, right? The thing about doing that challenge, it could force you to make decisions quickly. And then I realized that, oh shit, all those decisions should be always made quickly, period. Right? In terms of like, yeah, of course, some decisions about artwork and of course the song. Yeah, of course you want to take time, whatever. But for me, I've already done this a million times. I understand that this is like my magnum opus, the greatest remix I'm ever putting out in my life. Maybe I should go and hire somebody $500 to make the artwork. But dude, I knew what I was doing. I was putting out bangers that I kind of wanted to share with the world, right? It was almost like a diary. Mm-hmm. And everybody is going to do things differently, but that's how I set off to do it. So for me, I was making decisions very quickly. So with that said, the content that I made to promote it was very quick. It was me standing in front of if it was a Drake thing, I'd be like in my bedroom. I'd be sitting in front of my bedroom in front of like a big screen TV with Drake on the screen, like a music video of Drake, and then me headbanging to my remix and be like, oh, what if Drake was disco? That's it. So there was that. Okay. Maybe I would do a story about it. It would go up on SoundCloud because, these were bootleg remixes. SoundCloud. And the funny thing is I only started my YouTube in 2024. So now I'm posting all those bootlegs on YouTube. So I highly suggest trying to put everything on YouTube, put everything on SoundCloud. And yeah, the cool thing is because of Hyped It, I'm sure a lot of you use it. The way that the system works is that the more you post, the more, if people repost it and it starts getting big, it automatically recommends your most recent download gate to the person that just downloaded your song. So each song would feed into the other. So SoundCloud is what people go, SoundCloud's dead. SoundCloud changed my fucking life in 2023. Like seriously, if it wasn't for SoundCloud, this whole house of cards fucking falls. So SoundCloud was a huge aspect of it. Reposts were a huge fucking thing. It was huge. And dude, I collected like 25,000 emails. I'm a fucking small business, ladies and gentlemen, because of Hyped It. Okay, so I have 25K fucking growing every single day emails that now I'm going to turn into like a newsletter or whatever the fuck I want to do. So Hyped It is incredibly crucial. SoundCloud incredibly crucial because it's the only place that you can do these gates. So Yeah, that was a part of it. But to be honest, dude, I was fucking lazy because I was so scared and like so living in like, you know, living on like the surface of the sun, like trying to get these songs out every single week. But after like week 15, I was like, okay, I kind of got this. Then I started doing a little bit more sophisticated content. Then I started kind of doing, instead of just like one thing for one video, I'd be like, oh, well, this kind of song that's kind of getting popular from 4 weeks ago, then I would kind of go and do like a video with it. But again, very simple, nothing high concept, just me like DJing in the woods or whatever the fuck. This is pre-Goshfather jacket, so I was just like doing whatever to do some random trend, dress up like me and pretend to finger drum, you know? But the point is you can go as in-depth or visually stunning, whatever as you want with it. But it's just about going. And the other thing, kind of to come back with what I was saying to Jeff about how there's no followers don't exist anymore. This is a really important thing to kind of understand. If your video hasn't been seen by like, you know, like if it's hit like a 1 million view mark or something, then nobody's seen your video. Nobody's heard your song. So you can promote that song infinitely until it hits. The only thing is that because of our egos, sometimes we go, oh, well, people, we're gonna overload our audience. What audience? I don't even have a fucking audience yet. What audience are we overloading? Are we Drake? Are we Taylor Swift? If Taylor Swift starts putting out a song a week, we're fucked. But I'm not. So I was like, dude, just keep posting about the shit that I'm proud of. Don't worry about our coworkers. Don't worry about our fucking girlfriends. Don't worry about mom and dad. Don't worry about other fucking DJ homies that don't fucking post anything and think that they're fucking God's gift to. Just post shit. Post shit, and then when a stranger comments on it, hey, I randomly found you and this is awesome. Get on that person's ass and go, thank you. I love you. Join my thing. How can I fucking, hey, can I show you some more stuff that I'm working on? Create that connection with a stranger. Social media, socializing media. It's not about being a hot chick and dancing only. That's part of it. But it's about meeting a stranger who your content gets served to and you can go and connecting with them. If you can make one new fan a day or every couple days, you will see the trajectory of your artist career change. The beauty of social media is that we can say goodbye to gatekeepers. We don't need a label to have fans now. This is why it really makes me sad when I go, TikTok ruined music. Do you know how many people we wouldn't know about? Sick artists that the world wouldn't know about if they didn't have the opportunity to just turn their camera on in their bedrooms and fucking play their song and not have to have somebody go, well, you know, you got to work on your look and I don't know, you got to change the chorus. That's how shit used to be. Now we can just go boop. So we got to take advantage of it. Got to take advantage of it. Just make garbage fucking videos. Keep trying them. Keep getting better. Keep taking like videos that you like and kind of trying to close the gap between shit that you actually enjoy watching and shit that you're making. Let's watch some YouTube videos on basic editing. Take advantage of it. Your music, like if you have respect for your music and the art that you create, it's worth learning this stuff. Because then the more autonomy that you can get, that's the other thing. When I was doing all the process from putting all the music out, I was doing everything on my own. The promoting, the answering the emails, booking for the promoters, the doing the artwork, the doing the fucking this, the collecting the emails, the doing this. I was doing it all on my own. The more autonomy that you can cultivate as an artist, the more nobody can ever fuck with you. It's called leverage. Leverage, leverage, leverage. If you're the person that has all the sauce, you are the one that gets to decide whether to pick up the phone or not when it rings. At whatever level that may be, it could be getting a local gig. You can say, no, I don't want $200. I want $500 because this is what I'm fucking worth. You have negotiating power. This is what I'm saying, but you can't do it if we're putting our hands in you just wait till someone discovers me, man. Any minute now, bro, someone's going to find me. You're fucked. Anyone that thinks like that in 2025 is quit right now. But if you're the kind of person that goes, I don't know how my videos aren't really working, but I'm going to figure it out. You're going to win. I bet on this. I say this publicly. I bet on somebody that's consistent more than I bet on somebody that's talented. I don't give a fuck if you're talented. Do you know how many talented people that I know from Hollywood or when I lived in LA? They have not put one song out in fucking 8 years. Who gives a fuck about how talented you are? But the people that are scrappy, the ones that are trying and look cringe and fall on their ass and this was a failure launch and try this again and they get back up and they learn something, they get data, that is who I fucking bet every last penny of my money on. So be that person, embody that person, be that person that goes, shit is not working for me. Everything sucks. Everything is bad. I'll fucking try it anyway. This is how you become a story that people go and fucking write fucking Wikipedia articles about and shit. Okay? with that said, does anybody have any other questions about content? Any other questions about content? And we're gonna move on to production. And I don't even know how much time we have left, but I don't give a fuck. I'm in it with you guys right now. I'm in it. I'm roasting here. So let me know what else we got. Anybody questions about content? No question too stupid. No question too.
I'm just curious about like, do you look at your analytics and try to understand when to post, or is it just like according to your region? I mean, I've heard so many different like ways of people saying you post here when you post there. Or do you look at your analytics and say, oh, this is around the time we should
one basic way, and so that answer changes based on if you have like a viral video. So like legitimately, like if you have a video that fucking, this is a very real example. Like let's say you do like a video that has, and I've seen this happen many times. You do like a video that has like an Indian sitar in it, or like some vocal from like an Indian song, and that song pops off in India, and you become mega viral in India. Well, now a lot of your followers are in Southeast Asia, and if you post based on times of your local time zone, you're going to get a lot less engagement than if you kind of post based on where the majority of your followers are coming from. So if you haven't popped yet and you kind of like have a following that's sort of local in your market, the best thing that I would suggest is early morning, like 8 a.m. So then people, or right before noon, because the time when people check their Instagrams or their TikToks, whatever, the most is when they're on their lunch break. That's why people scroll on the lunch break, and that's the most kind of optimal time in your market, if that is where the majority of people are from, on a weekday to post your content. So I would say 11:30. But then again, the truth is, if the fucking thing is so dope, one more time, let's go back to. Okay, you can post at any time of day, because holy fuck, I've never seen that before. And if I've never seen that before, then a zillion other people have never seen it before. That's how you get 359,000 likes and like fucking 8 million views, because the concept is so fucking powerful. But if it's stuff that's kind of like you're experimenting and you want to just kind of get a push, I would say like around noon is always your best bet. But if it's a crazy concept, ghetto metal, you can post at any time of the day and it's going to connect, because this is fucking incredibly unique. Okay.
How far out is your how far out is your content planned right now?
I just make it daily.
Okay. I've missed maybe 1 or 2 days so far this year of posting a reel or carousel.
Nice, dude. Amazing.
Yeah. Do you just try to do something easy a little bit like each day, or?
I do. I mean, last couple of weeks has been kind of complicated for me, particularly. I mean, this is a fucking excuse, of course, but there's been the LA fires, and I've been working on like charity stuff for that. So I kind of didn't feel so good posting, but I'm actually getting back to the schedule this week. But yeah, it's daily, dude. I mean, so much of it. I'll show you guys a screenshot in the Instagram DM thing about how I do it. Basically, what I do is I'll screenshot for example, if I see a video that I like this. I'll screenshot it and then all I really need is a screenshot, because for me, if you're just even looking at it still, using my eyes, I understand the format of what it is. Shot up, little glow, live performance with the song playing, and then the text in the middle is what makes it, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll just go, Gosh Father, camera like this, little blur on me, text in the middle, my song playing, and me maybe DJing or finger drumming or whatever the fuck it is. So it's with how easy that is to shoot and create. The minute I find this video, my video is already done. Does that make sense? The fact that I find this video in the wild means my video for the day is done, because 30 seconds of setup, and then press upload. And then I do the text is done in app. So I literally just have the video and the song playing, and I do the text and it's an upload. Mm-hmm. I have no reason. My goal is for someone to see me and to hear my music. If that requires me taking a format that people obviously are enjoying and that caught my eye, then I'm done. Why am I supposed to? Is this a company? Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of us, because we're like in producer world, we always we're like keeping score. Like, what's someone gonna think? Fuck what anybody thinks. I'm not making content for my producer homies. And for those of you out there that like are kind of still in that realm, I invite you to stop really sincerely giving a shit about what anybody may think or will think, or even, dude, when I was first doing the song a week, I had one of the most insane experiences that I had from doing like week 10 or week 8. I had homies that, God bless them, that I know haven't put a song out in like 6 years, 7 years. Love them, but this is the reality. They reached out and were like, "Hey, brother, you know, you're putting out all this music, and we're just kind of worried, man. You gotta maybe I think you're like your audience might get like a little, you know, a little overwhelmed by it." When someone messaged me that, I was like, "Wow, wow, I'm hitting a nerve even with the homies. I've created now a mirror. I'm putting a mirror to my contemporaries that they have to go and send a message like that to me." That's what I'm saying. You guys, when you guys go on a path of going, that's it, I'm going balls to the wall, I'm going to give this the fucking college try, whether it's content, whether it's music, you're going to have people that are going to, in your corner, who are your friends, who don't know how to handle you actually locking in and applying yourself. It's going to confuse people. Do it anyway. You're not doing it for anybody but yourself. So Ray, to answer your question, do whatever the fuck if you want to post 3 a day, if you want to steal a fucking format and you go, this would be great with what I'm doing, do it. You know, just do it. Always be experimenting. Always be trying different shit out. Whew. Okay. Any other questions? I know I'm like answering. Yes, hit me.
So at least with Instagram, it's all about reels, right? Not stories.
Stories are growth. So reels. Think of it like I'm casting a reel. Think about that, right? Reeling in the people with the reel, with stuff like this that's on the screen, right? I don't need any. It's called growth content. Stories are nurture content. Once you have the fish in the bucket that you caught, stories are, what's up, guys? So my new song is out today and I have a show on Friday. Think of it as fishing, right? But if you write something in the story that's supposed to be a reel, it's not going to work. So for example, if you write, "Hey guys, my new song comes out today," as a reel, you're not catching any fish. Does that make sense? Kind of what I'm saying. Reels is outward. Reels is outward to catch. Stories are inward to nurture.
So stories only your followers can see your stories, right? And the reels get out to if you catch the right algorithm.
Strangers, exactly. Stories. Look, a story can go viral, of course, but the chances are it's like lightning striking compared to a reel. Right? So it's just realizing the different functions. So no more new song out now. Check my Spotify, link in bio. None of that is allowed to be on Reels anymore. That's only for stories. Because the cool thing about stories is it's the highest conversion of people actually clicking on something. So for selling things, new merch, new show coming up, new this, new that, it's because those people have to be following, you have to follow them and they have to follow you. Or I guess they have to just be following you, like opted in. It's the people that are most likely to react to that information. The problem with Reels is, and the way the algorithm works is, if you post new song out now as a reel, the way that the Reels work is if enough people scroll past it, it stops showing it to anyone. And why does that happen? Because if an algorithm didn't work like that, guys, when we'd be scrolling, it would be all fucking flyers from fucking DJs. Then we would delete the fucking app. New song, new show. We would delete the fucking app. So to protect the users, it goes, hey, do people not fuck with this flyer that this guy posted? Okay, I'm going to stop showing it to people. So, but if it's on stories, that's at least your real estate of people that you've cultivated through the other actions that you've done off app or through Reels or whatever. These are people that actually are invested in you. So showing them, hey, I have a show on Friday, you're just letting out information to your actual followers. I hope that makes sense.
A lot of sense, yeah.
Sweet, fuck yeah.
Clarifies things a lot.
Thank you. No, cool.
Wrong the whole time. So.
No, but dude, it's all good, dude. We're experimenting, we're learning. Anybody else? And we're gonna move on to production. Anyone else? Any other questions? Deepest, darkest questions of the year? And obviously, you guys, I'm available to you guys after this. If you ever want to DM me and shit, you want to talk about this. Obviously, as you can see, I'm like sweating talking about this. I really am passionate about this because for so many people, the social media shit is the missing link. And I'm trying to explain to everyone that it's not that crazy. It's not as fucking difficult as we may think it is. So anyway, any other questions? Oh, when will we have a Goshfather Discord? Valmer asks. I was actually thinking about that today. So maybe we'll get a Goshfather Discord going in the next couple of weeks or so. So we'll make it happen. Okay. If there's no other questions, Valmer, yeah. So I really have been considering the Discord, so we'll make it happen. So moving on. Let's go to production. And now with my production, it's either going to inspire you guys or horrify you with how I approach this. But either way, like I said, I'm here. I'm gonna stand on business, hopefully, and we'll make it happen. How's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good? I know this is a lot of information that I'm hitting everybody with, but that's why we're here, I think. So boom. Great. Good
useful.
shit. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how did I make 52 songs on 2023 without batting an eye? And well, I batted actually a lot of eyes, and it was really, really painful. But making it look like I didn't bat an eye. Well, here is my exact process. Here's what I do every single time I open up my DAW. I do the exact same fucking thing over and over and over and over again. Couple of different principles here with production, right? So hold on one sec. Okay. So step one, and this may or may not shock you guys. I'm not, and again, all these kind of principles that I'm going to be talking about here, it's kind of all holistic with everything else that I was saying with content and branding and everything. I try to keep everything kind of in the same box here. So for me, I have limitations as a content creator, as an artist, as a music producer, and I always have. One of those hugest limitations for me personally, I suck at synths. I suck at that kind of like sound design. I suck at, yeah, I mean, those are the huge kind of glaring things that I personally know that I suck at. But not just that they suck at, it's just that for me, after doing this for like almost 13 years, I have never, just personally, I've never gotten excited about the idea of getting better with it. Does that make sense? The idea of going, all right, if I just sit here and apply myself and learn ASDR and fucking learn how to really become like a serum master like my homies are and that process never appealed to me. Personally, it doesn't mean that that's the correct way to do it. I'm just saying for me personally. So with that, what do I do? What do I enjoy because of Ableton and the way that it like kind of was is I love samples. I love chopping up samples. I love dragging stuff in. I love like reversing things. I love chopping. I love side chaining stuff. That's why I make disco house, because so much of it is like the feeling of like dragging in like an old soul sample over a kick and then turning the side chain on and feeling that pump. That was one of the first effects that I learned like years ago in my fucking college dorm room when I first started like going to like the laid back Luke fucking forum and learning how to produce. That always got me excited, like to the point that it still gets me excited. And that is now I'm realizing, especially the process of putting the song out every week, I realized I used to like feel guilty, like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough stuff in the song. I'm not doing enough like things. I'm not like twisting enough knobs. And of course, why did I have that inclination? Because I gave a shit about what other people thought about me. I gave such a shit that some Reddit fucking tribunal is going to chastise me for using a fucking sample. When you realize that the goal is to make yourself happy, to make yourself excited, to create something that you are like nodding your head to, and that's it. Like if you create something that makes you happy, you are successful in the music industry. Why is that? Is because if you can create music or art that makes you genuinely happy, that you get up and start going, yo, this is sick. You guys know that feeling. If you guys can do that consistently every single time you create a process, the reason that you're going to be successful in music is because nobody can stop you now. If you've gotten to the point where you know that without asking your boys for feedback or any of the shit that we can get caught up in, if you can create something in a 30-minute session and go, fuck yeah, multiply that times 100 times 1,000, nobody can stop you from creating stuff. Nobody can stop you from understanding the path that from sitting down to nodding your head and smiling and being happy. Nobody can stop you because everybody else, your competition and whatever the fucking genre it is that you're doing, somebody is sitting there going, yeah, well, you know, I can't do that. Before they even make anything with just by themselves in the room, they're having 30 fucking like almost like schizophrenic conversations with them about like, oh, well, what's my boy gonna think? What's Skrillex gonna think? What's the Reddit guy gonna think? Before they even drag in a fucking anything. So if you can get to the point where you're just literally making shit that you want, then nobody can ever stop you because you're going to be able to be creating stuff based on gaining validation from your own self. And once you get into that drip feed of, oh, I feel like making this today. Oh, I nailed it. This is sick. I like it. Oh, I'm finishing it. I'm putting it out. Nobody will ever be able to say shit to you in your life. Not just that, but that kind of positive momentum, it seeps into every other aspect of your career. And this is what I didn't realize I was going to get from putting out the song a week. I didn't realize that this was going to be like a result that came out of it, but this is the result that came out of it. It's a creative confidence and it's a trust in yourself. If you can trust yourself when you're creating something, you are unstoppable. If you need 35 fucking feedbacks and 65 ears until you can maybe start the mix and master, you're in big trouble, because that is a really hard cycle to get out of. So the sooner you can begin trusting yourself, the sooner you can start keeping promises to yourself along the lines of, hey, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to work on this tune, I'm going to fucking finish it, I'm going to get the artwork done, I'm going to put it out without asking for anybody's permission. The more you can do that, the faster your fucking muscles start growing. And the sooner you can start trusting yourself, the sooner you start making the most incredible stuff that you've ever made in your life. This is a promise. The first thing, because I do one-on-one coachings with people, like that's part of like my business in addition to like music and stuff. I do one-on-one coachings with people. I help them with branding. I do all this stuff. As you can see, like I do all this stuff with people. I show them production. And the first thing I tell them is, if you're going to work with me, 30 days, no feedback. You are not showing this song to your bro, to your girlfriend, to your mom, anybody that can kind of poison the kind of chaste crystal shield around your creative process. Because if you can't trust yourself, you are always going to use other people as a crutch. Or even worse, you're going to use the thought of what other people might think forever as a crutch. And you're never going to finish anything, and you're never going to put anything out, and you're just going to resent yourself. And this is me trying to protect myself and everybody else that hears me say these words from resenting themselves, because that's the darkest fucking place you could be in. So with that fucking said, here is how I begin everything. I'm using my remix of Where You Are as just an example, because it's the first thing that I saw. First thing that I fucking do is, step one, never, ever, ever, ever. I don't care if you're fucking making a fucking jazz odyssey, classical fucking music, whatever it is. Never, if you're opening up your DAW, never start with a blank page. Never, ever, ever, ever start with you never be doing this. All right. Because what does this do? You're navigating in the dark. Okay, time to make a banger. Problem is, when you go into the DAW and say, time to make a banger, the only way you can make a banger is if you start listening to other shit that's popular. If you start going on the Beatport top 10 and going, well, I gotta make something heavy. If you give yourself too much anxiety, the anxiety of having to be great, give yourself pressure, having to do something, it results in you copying. And a lot of us have learned and become producers because we copied. But if you want to actually develop your own sound and become something special and become something that the market hasn't seen before, and of course, most importantly, make yourself happy while creating it, because you're like, oh, these are these interesting ideas that I kind of put in, and I'm just happy that I did it, and I'm happy that they're in the song. You have to be able to realize the difference between creative time when you're producing and foundational time when you're producing. When I first, here I'm opening up Splice right now. By the way, I use samples. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I don't really know how to, I'm not really good. I mean, I know how to use synths, but I'm not really great with it. But so I use samples. I'll use samples. I'll use samples for all my drums. I just use audio. Here, I'm just gonna go sounds. Okay, so here's the first thing that I do. And I don't know if any of you guys do this, but this for me was something that I had to learn as like a fucking desperation tactic when I was making the, having to put a song out every single Monday for 52 weeks. I was like, okay, well, so step one, I'll bring in my reference track and I'll go like this. Boom. Oh, fuck. Okay. Boom. Done, done, done. Cool. Now, what's going on here? I have eliminated the opportunity for me to go, I go next. Does it make sense what I just did? I took a song that I know bangs, and I know the structure of it is fucking works when I go and they play it out live. And by the way, in order for me to create this John Summit remix in the first place, I did that with a Chris Lake song. So for me, the structure is already standing on the shoulders of giants of structure that I already know works in a Chris Lake song for me to create this other song that ended up being very successful for me. So now the point is, I'm putting kicks where and again, I know you guys are all making different kind of genres of music, but it's the same fucking thing, especially if you're making electronic music. There's a place where the kick is happening and there's a place where the kick is not happening. If you have this right here, you now know intro, drop, outro. There's no excuses about, oh man, I'm stuck in the loop. There's no stuck in the loop. You know exactly where to go next. This part has this, and then this part at 65 is going to have more hi-hats than the part that was in front of it. This part over here is going to have this, and this part over is going to have a little more energy, and then it's going to have less energy on the outro. So now you're almost like done with the song, if you think about it. Now the next step is, what am I putting into the song? Now you've built the foundation of the building. You've built the building. Now it's just about, what color are the walls going to be? What's the roof going to look like? What kind of doors do I put in? People get tripped up on this part. They get tripped up on the foundation of it, and then they go, oh, bro, I don't know where to take the song. Because there's no structure. So start with the structure. Start with the structure. And to be honest, like, in terms of like production, let's see. I mean, let's go fucking, let's see, fucking, I mean, again, I'm just gonna like try to like make a fucking random thing here, but great, beautiful. Found a sample that I liked. Good, cool. Oops, sorry, this is so fucking loud. But like, boom. Okay, I found a fucking sample that I liked. Here we go. And again, for me, it can either be a sample, it could be a synth that I make, it could be anything, right? But for me, this moment right here, just for me and the style that I make, this to me is the moment that like makes it all worth it for me. Like, this is the part that I enjoy right here. So, oops, not that. So obviously the point is I'm not listening to the reference track, and I should in real life have the kicks actually be normal. Pretend I know how to produce right here. So. Okay, let's say top loop. So like for me, so like for me, like this, one second. So like for me, like right off the bat, this is how I start every single song. I do the thing with the kicks. I set up all the foundation, and now for the rest of it, because and this is another really important aspect of this, right? Where when I'm producing music, I don't want to feel like I'm fucking producing music. And what I mean by that is I want to already be, if somebody were to like come in and if I had monitors, which I haven't in this house ever, if I was working on something like right here and somebody came in and was like hearing what I was doing, I would want them to go, yo, what song is that? Do you guys see what I'm saying by that? It's not choosing the snare for fucking 4 hours. Oh, which hi-hat? If I'm doing that, I don't want to fucking produce music anymore. I don't want to be like the best hi-hat selector in fucking North America. That to me is complete bullshit. So for me, I use samples in the beginning to create the mold of what the song might turn into. And if it's a sample that first speaks to me, then I know exactly, get a top loop and... So like, whatever, I'll go like this, fucking, whatever. I can come in and chop stuff up. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But here's the process where I'm sitting in here and I'm just working inside of this loop right here until I get some. And I'm here and I'm chopping stuff up until I find some, whatever. I'm just chopping stuff up until I find something that I fucking like, let's see here if I can. Some shit. I'll just keep going till I find something I like. Keep going. Whatever. And I'll keep chopping it. I'll keep doing whatever the hell it is until I find something where I'm like, yo, this is fucking fire. This is amazing. Like, this is going to be the conceit, the main conceit of what my song is. And again, it could be a synth, it could be whatever the hell your process is going to be. But starting here until you get something, especially if we're talking electronic music here, right? Let's say if we're talking about singer-songwriter and it's a completely different genre, this part is the chorus. What's the hook? What's the part that everyone's singing along with? What's the part that everyone's feeling one specific kind of emotion with? Whether everyone's feeling sad, everyone's feeling super excited and happy. Whatever the hell it's going to be, like finding, by the way, you guys can hear everything, right? Okay, that would have been really, I mean, that's such a Victor thing to do, to like be talking and having no audio. But yeah, so anyway, the point is like going and figuring out what the main conceit of the song is. And then guess what, dude? Once you figure out what the main conceit of the song is, now your fucking Ableton stops working. You can, okay, there you go, boom. And oh shit. Wait. What? Just imagine it works, right? So now I have this foundation now that I can start taking things out of, putting them back in, embellishing, chopping in half, right? Like, because now I can go like this. Like some shit like this. Put the fucking auto filter on it. Let's just say like on that part. So, and imagine that I knew how to do kick drums. So imagine that I knew how to produce music. And then I did this. And here's my intro. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And now here's my breakdown. My breakdown is, maybe it's the full, whatever the fuck. You know, maybe it's the full thing. You know, turn this automation off, or turn the sidechain off. One. Because now I have everything set up exactly where I want it to be set up. So I basically now have a full fucking song done if I wanted it to be. There's no excuses now. Now I've booby trapped myself. I've booby trapped my surroundings. I can't be humanly stuck with this. The only way that I can be stuck with this is if I fucking hate what I made.
Your volume just cut out.
Oh, so the only you hear me now? Check.
You're
the only way that I could possibly be stuck with this song in the state that it is if I didn't do this part. Like, if I didn't sit there and go, yo, this bangs, I have no reason to create all this other shit to get to the part that bangs. What people try to, there's a bunch of different ways that producers get stuck in a hole. First, they try to make the intro first. What the fuck does the intro tell you about the rest of the song? Nothing. They try to make the breakdown first. Maybe that works sometimes, but then what are you getting to? So just for me, I will sit here, all 52 songs, people, how'd you do it? Because I sat here and I had fun. I sat here and I worked on this one little loop of the song until I went, eh. I literally would get up and I go, yo, like my way that I knew that a song was good or whatever, that I was going to like pursue to finish it. And I had the idea was if I physically got up. Like, again, learning to be the barometer for your own feedback based on like an emotional stimulus. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, dude, fuck yeah. Imagining that you're playing this in front of a crowd, or imagining like once you embellish it, like the effect that it's gonna have on you, the way that you're gonna like fucking, the feeling that people are gonna get, that all happens here. It doesn't happen, maybe it does, but for me, this is just how I did it. And I don't care if you're doing dubstep. I don't care if you're doing fucking liquid D&B, whatever the fuck you're gonna do, it's always gonna come back to this. What is the main conceit happening right here? And if that doesn't happen, then none of this shit happens. Okay? And the beauty is, I've deleted the reference track now. The reference, this only exists because I used the reference track, but now the reference track doesn't even need to be there anymore. Right? Because I've used everything that I needed from the reference track. I've sucked it dry, sucked its blood, and reanimated it as this new idea right here. And the only reason everything else works is because I went, yeah, this is fucking fire. All right. So I guess the point of this whole call is that I'm trying to address like all these different things, like some of the main things, whether it was in content or branding, all of the main things that I see like a lot of people that go and they get stuck on or like understandably complain about, and like a lot of stuff was about, social media and stuff. A lot of the huge things that people get stripped up on when it comes to production is this. I don't know where to go with the loop. I don't know how to start. I don't know. This is what protects you from having those conversations with yourself. You now have, within 4 tracks, like here's the thing. Maybe I can add a bass line in, maybe I can add a vocal in, maybe I can do all this stuff. But if the foundation is not working, you can add, and we do, 70 more tracks. It's not going to make your track better. It's going to make you more confused, you more overwhelmed, and you're going to end up shelving the track. And now you just, I don't want to say wasted time, because any time under the bench, right? Under the bench is time that's useful. You're getting better experimenting. But if you're trying to become a person that finishes stuff, you're trying to become a finisher, you kind of got to start choosing your battles a little bit better, right? Like this, for me, just in the production style that I do, this does it all for me. It's a song already. I don't have the bass line. I don't have a mix and master done. But if I played this for some fucking our target audience, which is, keep in mind, right, guys, music producers, or what I always say to people is, if you can drag in a fucking drum loop into a DAW like this, if you can drag in a drum loop into a DAW like I just did and just leave it there, you are in a 0.000000001 percentile of every human in the human race, just for dragging in the fucking drum loop into the DAW. You are in outlier. You're a Superman compared to, but if you can make a whole song, you are in a even more exponential smaller bucket than that. So with that said, your idea, your first idea sometimes is a fucking sick idea, especially compared to the vast majority of human beings who are potentially going to be your fans that are going to hear it. If the only people that we're showing our music to is music producers, we're fucked. You can't start a career by just showing your music, your songs to your bro who fucking is hella good with Serum or whatever. We got to get this music out to fans. And the way that we do it is creating stuff that connects with us, that we may think connect with other people. If you can dance to it, then Jenny at the fucking function can dance to it. And now you've created something that is worthwhile on the dance floor and everybody's happy. But we can't get to that point unless we don't allow ourselves to go, yo, this is enough. This to me, and how do we find out if it's enough? We ask ourselves. For me, is my fucking head shaking when I'm playing it back to myself? That is how we know we've hit struck gold. Yeah, I'm going to go in, I'm going to add in a bass line. Yeah, I'm going to go in, I'm going to add in transitions. I'm going to add a buildup. But if this isn't there, nothing's there. Okay. I know, obviously, when I do these kind of like production things, people go, oh, come on, show us the secret sauce. Dude, let me show you my mastering chain. Well, what the fuck is my mastering chain? And look, I'm not even going to save this. YOLO, dude, because that's not my fucking last idea. I have 1,000 fucking ideas a day. I'm not worried about saving that idea and like we're doing. In fact, well, one of the reasons is the song I'm about to show you is actually using the same fucking sample. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, it literally uses the same sample. That's actually funny. That's why it was at the top of my thing. But here's a song that I made. Again, you guys can see, like, I kind of use the same. Oh, by the way, this 17 tracks. 17 motherfucking tracks. And honestly, these two could be like combined. Great. No, they can't be combined. Anyway, here's the song. Oh, here we go. By the way, it's the same sample from the last song. You guys can see. Like, but I pitched it up. So, with that said, but here's what I did with it, right? So the point is, like, that's a great example of me like taking that sample that I had from the last song and actually making it to a full song. Here is my master chain. The God particle at the very beginning. And maybe this is the wrongest master chain of all time. Utility here because I mix loud, whatever, and I turn it back down. Ozone, I use, I don't know if you guys can see it, but again, I guess the point is it's kind of irrelevant. What I'm trying to show about me showing you guys this master chain is it doesn't really fucking matter. If the idea is not good, your master chain is not going to save you. Okay? If the idea is not making you happy and it's not like a coherent idea, me putting these 3 plugins onto your song is not going to change your song into a fucking club banger. is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to point out with this example is that it's very simple. I get it very loud with 3 different things, but that's because the sounds and the samples that I use in the 17 like total tracks that I have are already quality. I just crank them up. I EQ them to kind of put them into a box. I use as less elements as possible nowadays. I challenge myself as much as possible to use as little shit as possible, because through automation and stuff, you can make one synth or one drum sound like 10 different things based on like automation, volume, and fucking turning things on and off. That's where the magic happens, right? That's where you get really creative with it. But yeah, dude, in terms of like, there is no magic. There is no like, what's the secret sauce? There is no secret sauce. The secret sauce is liking the idea that you're making. Because if you make an idea that's dope and you use you steal an arrangement from a song that you fucking like and put your dope idea into that arrangement, if you don't know how to mix and master, go on Fiverr and get it mixed and mastered for $50. It's all about you. It's all about you and the initial idea. And that's why it's so important to keep on like making stuff and trying things out and putting stuff out and like not asking people for feedback, at least in the beginning. You know, if you have like a song that's like it's an official remix or someone's going to be like a make or break, go and ask for feedback. But if you're just putting tunes out to kind of like fish ideas out or whatever, or even like this is another huge thing that I forgot to kind of mention, because like in terms of like social media content, social media is your A&R. So I've put out a couple of videos that were just like, yo, what if I took like African music and mixed it with disco? And it was just like me holding the iPhone like this, with my song playing and like the DAW on the screen. I had some pretty big artists see that video and reach out and go, yo, I want to collab on this. Right? So that is kind of a 2-pronged attack where you can go and you can make something to the best of your ability, post a preview of it on social in a coherent way as if it's a piece of content, and then get feedback. If the song, people are going, oh my God, this is incredible. Hey, there's a great reason for you to go and mix and master and finish that thing. Right? So that's kind of like a huge trick that I've been using and I'm going to be using recently, kind of using like a live studio audience, A&R. So again, all the tricks, all of the like, what EQs am I using? Yeah, okay, I'm using Ableton EQ, Ableton EQ8 on fucking everything. As you can see, there's not even a lot of shit on each channel. A lot of it's just an EQ, because also if you're using splice samples, a lot of this stuff is already pre-produced well. You know, I do shit like really unorthodox. I just enjoy working in audio. I don't like doing MIDI. I personally, I'm so ADD, and like I said, I need to hear a song while I'm working on a song. I can't hear, here's the low end. I'm gonna go fucking crazy. I'm gonna quit music if that's what I have to be doing all day long. Well, what's the multiband doing? I can't. I'm gonna go nuts. So for me, I find the best sound possible at first. I plug it in. I do some side chaining. I do some EQing. I'm happy with how it sounds. And that's how I've done all of my music. All the songs that come out on major record labels, the fucking Hoogle official remix, the Monster Cat remix that I did, all same principles. Because it all comes down to the core idea, trusting your taste, and just being brave. Okay, so with that said, I know that that's kind of maybe a cop-out answer for some of you, but if you guys do want me to get in depth, now let's open it up for questions. Any questions at all?
Where'd you get that vocal?
Sorry, you could go, Ray.
Where'd you get that vocal, and like, are you reaching out to artists right now to like?
No. So yeah, I mean, in general, always. In general, okay, so for example, I have a new management right now, and one of the big things that they're doing is that they're reaching out to artists for vocals. And the idea of how that would work is they send me a vocal and I'll produce a track around it. And now the strategic aspect of that is we now use her following based on her past releases with other big artists, and we combine it with my following, and then it's a combined thing, and then now it's a big thing. So that at this point, and I'm not trying to shit on the concept of art or collaboration here, but at this point for me, because of how I've been so used to working kind of so by my lonesome and kind of just like executing on my own, having the luxury of not having to wait for anybody, to me that process is almost like, I understand why I have to do it. I'm going to do it, like doing the politics with her or his management, the singer and me, and then coming together and putting a release schedule together. Now that I'm doing like all originals this year, I'm only doing originals this year. I understand why that's necessary to kind of fill up, make the pot bigger. But for me, I much rather prefer like using like AI vocals. And with this is all Suno.
If you need a friend, you just call me, I'll come running.
So this is Suno. How can I? fuck. I don't want to like take time showing how I did. Maybe I can like post a video. I can like post like a Loom video or something into the exact process of how I got the vocal from Suno. But in Suno, for those of you that don't use it, I know obviously there's a lot of conversations about like AI music and stuff creating the music, but Suno has a very, very powerful thing in it called Cover Song. And I don't know if you guys have ever used this before, but if you go on Suno, which is the AI music platform, at the very top left of the screen, in the create part of the screen, there's an option that says upload audio. And the way that I did this, fuck, maybe I can like find it. Here, let me show you. Basically on Suno, there's a thing where you can literally just, if you type in upload audio, it also gives you an option to either like drag audio in or literally just sing into your mic. So with this, I had my vocal playing, or I had I had this playing in one ear. Right? And then I had, where the fuck is it? Come on, baby. Oh, I think I found it. Please, Jesus. All right, cool. Oh, sweet. This is gonna be very cringe, but I'm gonna share with the squad over here. Okay, here we go. So this is me literally hearing a little melody and lyric idea in my head and just singing this.
If you come, if you come, if you need a friend, I'll come running. I'll come running back to you.
That's it. And I just did that with like a click track and this playing in the background. I just sang that one pass, and then you hit generate. You have to type in, I mean, obviously I'll go more into, I'll like make a video to actually show you the process of this. But yeah, this is just me singing, and it sent me back. I typed in like 1970s, like diva, 70s, like kind of easy listening, whatever, like vocal. And it just hit me back with this acapella. So it's me singing with an AI filter on it, and I sound like a chick, and it even comes with like the grain of like it was like sampled off of a vinyl. So that's my vocal. It's literally me singing.
That's wild.
Sick.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any processing before putting it through the AI? Like, did you compress it, EQ it?
No, nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, guys, it's next level. It's next level. And okay, for those of you who don't know, like I'm a singer. Like before I did dance music, I'm a classically trained opera singer. Like that was my life. And like I love singers. I love working with singers. I understand what it is like required to work with a singer. I understand the mentality of like how sensitive a person that's a singer is and all this stuff. Unfortunately, just with like the kind of speed that I was working at, especially in 2023, whatever I was putting stuff, there was like one song where I had a singer on it, and imagine like 35 weeks of me going boom, 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 boom. It hit a snag of like 2 months because the singer just kept on, oh, the EQ is not right. Listen. It's a collaboration. The singer has to be happy. I understand. Nothing against them. It ended up being great. But fuck, that killed my joy. It like reminded me, And again, I'm not saying we should never use singers again. That's apocalyptic and dystopian to fucking say that. But again, unless you know who you're working with, because it was kind of like a stranger that we were working with, right? So I just wasn't prepared for this back and forth and them nitpicking and then perfectionism. That kind of killed me. And again, unless you've worked with them before and you have an understanding and you have like kind of like a working relationship with that person, it's kind of tricky. So unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, this is kind of what I opt for. Now, if I'm doing an original, or at least the very minimum, like if I want to create like a very listenable scratch demo, which I guess one could say this is, I personally think it's done. Like I've played this out, it fucking bangs, but like maybe it's a demo, maybe because now my management's like shopping it around to other singers. If someone bites, go and re-sing it, but do it the way that I did it, and I'm happy. Right now that singer's on the song. So there's kind of like politics involved. There's kind of like that stuff involved, but that's why I choose to kind of use the AI. Because again, as you guys can see, it's my lyrics, it's my voice.
If you need a friend.
It's just, and if you notice, like I'm not in pitch, it still grabs pitch. Like it's still, if you could even like sing in the approximation of the pitch, the AI knows what key it's in. Like I have no pitch correction, nothing on this. I don't have any auto tune, nothing on this.
If you need a friend, you just call me, I'll come run.
Yeah, could use some EQ and shit, but you kind of see what I'm saying?
Is that
Makes sense,
tool
right?
called again?
Suno.ai. It's a website. And again, I'll make like a video of exactly the process of how I do it. It's just like that's like a whole call on its own, but I'll definitely pop that in for you guys.
Have you tried different AI vocal things?
Yeah,
And
tons,
is
tons.
Suno like one of the best? Because I've tried 11, I liked it, but I haven't like compared and shopped around.
Suno is great for my style. Well, dude, honestly, Suno is great for any style. I mean, it's becoming more and more powerful. Like AI music tools are becoming highly suggest. Look, I'm not saying go press a button and then upload the song that comes out from AI. We're definitely not there yet in terms of quality, and I don't know why anybody would want to do that in the first place. But highly recommend learning about all the AI tools that are at our disposal, because they are only going to get fucking. I'm not talking about years from now. I'm talking about in 3 months from now, in 6 months from now. There's going to be things that you guys have we can't even imagine is being built. So definitely go learn the tools. Obviously, there's a lot of ethical quandaries when it comes to it. I personally, my thing is I would never take a song built with AI, put my name on it and upload it. A, that's fucking boring. B, what the fuck, right? So that's just fucked up. So, and especially if it's like trained on like other people's music and shit. So that's not how I personally use it. I use it for stuff like this. How do I, for better or for worse, how do I save myself now 2 weeks of back and forth with somebody that might be busy, not available? How can I get to the core of what I want to get out of this performance by myself in this room and be able to present it to, for example, an audience of you guys? Right? That's my MO. How much more autonomy can I get? How many tools can I use to give myself more autonomy? How can I make this process happen faster for myself? Where I can, and that's the other kind of important thing, right? It's kind of a bummer sometimes when you have these like long periods before you put music out, because let's say you worked on a song a year ago and now it's a year later, or maybe a year and a half later, and now you have to promote it. You're not the same person you were a year ago. Especially if it's like a remix or something, or like a bootleg or something. Maybe that song was popular a year ago, and now you have to put it out. That's what I'm saying. Follow the energy, follow the interest. So for me with this song, I was so excited about it. I knew exactly what lyrics I wanted on it. I knew exactly what tone I wanted on it. I used Suno and I got it. And now this song is like done. So now I can play it out. I can test it out. I can A&R it on social. I have something to hold in my hand. And I've not lost the energy for it. Like I was so excited to show it to you guys just now, And this is a song that I've been working on for like a little bit. So that's how my brain works. Obviously, everybody's gonna be different, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. Any other questions? But any aspect of this, I know maybe you guys were expecting I was gonna go in and show you guys fucking EQ tricks and stuff. But again, I can show you all the tricks in the world. If the stuff that we talked about in the beginning here, if that's not dinging, you are not going to EQ your way out of a fucking, or compress your way out of a song that is not dope to you. Let's put it like that. You can spend 10 G's on plugins. It's not going to, if it's not structured, if it's not hitting you on that gut level, it's not going to happen. Any other questions?
I have a question about
hit me.
Sort of mixing. Like, do you have anywhere where you're trying to hit the levels when it's going into the master, or do you just do it based off of ear and reference tracks and stuff?
Okay, so
or is there like a number?
I'm going to send a video in the chat that changed my life. And unfortunately, I only saw this video like 22 weeks in 2023, but this video changed my life. Basically, my homie who I actually have a song with, his name is Zookeeper. He did this video for Kick and Bass, which is a West End's thing, where he talks about how he finds out if the kick and bass are ready for the club. And he literally just does this. He has a U-lean, and I'll send the video in the chat, but where the fuck is it? So like you guys will see in the video that like basically my goal is for the kick to be hitting at 0, and even the mix is you can hear it's kind of fucking fucked up. Basically what this does is this Pro Q cuts off. Can you guys see the actual like the dot, like the EQ and stuff? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So this cuts it at 125, where like the top of like the bottom of the kick and the top of the sub is, right, in your song. And then you have this loudness meter that kind of shows you exactly where, when those two things are kind of soloed, where everything's hitting. And he basically says, like, for him, it's 0 and -6, where this is the kick, obviously. This red kind of clipping thing is the kick. And then the sub is right here at the bottom. If you're hitting at 0 and -6 with the bass, you almost with like 90% accuracy will always have it hit in the club. So as you can see, I could probably turn the bass up a little bit here. I have some like headroom for it, but I would have to do some like EQing and stuff. But but you can see it's like around there. Like it's around exactly where I want it to be. So now for me, because kick and bass was always, and I'm going to send you guys the video so you guys can really understand the concept of it coherently explained by him. But kick and bass were always one of the hugest things for me where I would just give up. I'd be like, this fucking sucks. I can't, it's muddy. I can't get it. It's not hitting. It's not hitting like the other songs. Basically, this ratio of where the kick is hitting at 0 and where the bass is hitting at like -6-ish area, it's always going to have that oomph. Both elements are always going to be in the correct place. And ever since I started doing this, I pretty much with 90-ish% accuracy, barring a couple of things on like the high end mixing, whatever, the song holds up. Even like a scratch song that I make, just like, you know, maybe right before I, you know, go and DJ, it'll hit compared to even like professionally mixed and mastered ones because it like respects this ratio. This changed everything for me because then I just use my eyes. Right. So this is a huge one for me, and I'll send you guys that video. So yeah, that to me was a huge one. And, you know, I'm assuming, and then again, even if I didn't kind of use this hard and fast rule, say you guys are making a different genre, same thing. But the difference is drag in, right, a dubstep tune, right? If you're going to make dubstep, and then look at the dubstep tune through this. Again, I'll send you the thing so you guys can know exactly what to use. And then compare yours, where your kick and your bass is sitting, to the professional one, and just mix the volume. Right? I'm doing this for house, but you guys can do this for D&B, for whatever the fuck you want. If you want it to hit the same. Kick, bass. Kick, bass. Yeah. Game changer for me. Truly.
Oh yeah. Sick.
Yeah, I'll send you guys that shit. Anyone else? Any other questions?
That last the last night on Earth, you know, like I've always loved how when you went from a house and then dropped into a trap and then went back to a house. Is there like a strategy for that? Because I call them this like transition tracks or like stuff that you just drops out of nowhere and you brought it right back. I would love to like just hear your thoughts on how do you drop it and go out.
So what Shep was talking about is I have a song called Last Night on Earth with this guy Englewood, and it's like back in the day when I used to make bass music and trap music, like we would always do this, right? We'd always have like a house into the, you know, halftime back into the thing. We kind of did it to be cheeky because it was like, dude, nobody's doing disco with like a halftime like trap drop. And Englewood, to be honest, dude, Englewood himself, I don't know if you know this, but he used to be like, he came up as like Young Gravy's producer. So he was a hip hop producer before he was like a disco house producer. So that was kind of his idea to embellish that. And he just has like the craziest 808s and shit. So I kind of had like a weird version of it that sucked, but then he dragged in his like serious like hip hop drums and stuff. And then we just kind of transitioned back out of it. The real key to like, from a production standpoint to how to make that work. And here's the kind of, is that the trap bass part, if you go into like a halftime drop, like a trap part, if you're making a house song, the trap bass part has to just be slightly quieter. Has to be slightly quieter than the house kick and bass. Does that make sense? So it has to have the effect, but it can't be louder than when the house kick comes back in. Does that make sense? Because if it's louder, does that make sense? Like it has to just be like slight, like maybe like half or like 1 dB quieter, because it'll have the effects because the snare and shit is on different hits. But if it's louder and like deeper than when it comes back to the house, then the house is going to sound like shit. So that was kind of the trick. Like have the build up into the 808s, then back into the, you know, let's say that's at 90% volume of the track, but back to 100% once we do a little thing back into the house. I guess that I would say that's like the biggest thing. And I think when a lot of people try to do that, they drop it to the halftime part and it's super fat bass in your face. And then the rest of the song sounds like an accident. You kind of know what I mean? So I guess, yeah, one little trick, and honestly, one little trick that you can do is literally, you can just have the bass or whatever, have the halftime part wherever you want it, and just automate the master minus like 2 or 3 dB. And then have it go back to 0, you know, 100% dB when you're back to the house part. Does that make sense? Yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I mean, you just took like it was fun. It's funny. It's a great effect. But by the way, just from like another aspect of it, like the only reason that works is because no one's done that in a long time, you know, because back in 2016, every fucking song was halftime, fucking Hardwell, Tiesto doing fucking halftime shit, you know? So it's like, it was a nice little.
I had a whole folder full of them at one point, and then there was nothing new. And when you brought that out, I was like, oh, I've been waiting
Disco trap, dude. Disco trap. We're trying shit out. We have a bunch more music coming this year too, so it's gonna be dope. Any other questions, my friends? Feel free to get granular with it. I know we're way over time, but obviously I'm enjoying myself with you guys. I really am enjoying like sharing my brain with you guys, and I hope it's helping. I hope you guys can take some of this stuff with you. And of course, by the way, I'm always available to you guys. You know, DM me anytime you have questions. If you want me to elaborate on something, hit me anytime. But anybody have any other questions? Production wise, mentally. Yeah.
I'd say the Hugo track, like there were so many remixes. I freaking love yours.
Thank you, man.
When you got that, did you just throw the vocal up top, and then you were kind of going like what you were doing before? Like, I'll try this underneath it. I'll try to chop this up.
It's exactly the same. The process that I showed you guys is how I begin every single song, because if that part is not making me shake my head, and obviously with the Hugo one, I had like the vocal over it, I had like a different synth over it, but I had the I was like, dude, that's the part that when I play this out live, everyone's hands are up and it's going to be a whole moment. I saw it in my head, right? And that's what comes from a combination of DJing actively, knowing what kind of works on the dance floor, but also again putting the kick and putting the side chain, putting that vocal over it, putting the hi-hats over it, and going, yeah. The minute I embellish this, the minute I get a bass line in here, the minute I do this shit, I like it. Green light. Now, fill in all the blanks. I'm telling you guys, like if you guys try to copy that method that I did with putting the kicks, giving yourself no excuse, giving yourself the safety net of, oh, I don't know where to go next. Yes, you do. You already did it. You know where your breakdowns are. You know where your buildups are. You know where your next drops are. So you can't say that you don't know where to go. Right? We got to booby trap our lives sometimes, because for us as producers, as artists, as creative people, we love an excuse. An excuse hates to see us coming, because our ego would loves to go, yeah, well, it wasn't the right time anyway. Yeah, fuck that. You got to like fight past that. And the way we fight past it is booby trapping our lives, booby trapping it so we're successful by accident, even if we're not trying. So. And again, I'm also want to make it really clear. Like if you guys I don't know, I haven't heard a lot of you guys' music in here. If you guys are people that are sound designers, really into the engineering, I'm not trying to discount that at all. Who the fuck am I to even judge anybody on any of this shit? But I'm just saying, for me, it's the core stuff. I feel like when I was learning production, I got so obsessed with fucking compressors and what's the latest reverb, and I got to get all the download and the Valhalla. I was so obsessed with that stuff that I forgot that you also have to make some shit that sticks. If I just do 6 more waves, plugins, no, dude. If the thing doesn't work with just 3 tracks, it's not going to work with 35 tracks. More does not equal more gooder sound, more gooder music. It just means more complicated and more work for you, and more chance that you're going to put on the back burner because you're overwhelmed. So how do we protect ourselves from being overwhelmed? Make something sick, convince ourselves that we fucking love it, and then embellish upon that. Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one that's kind of
hit me.
more career based.
Go.
But like when you're starting out, so I'm SF based too. I DJ around the city
fuck yeah.
and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. Sick.
Do you think it's more important to focus on the production or like playing shows? Because like playing shows like makes money, you get out there, you meet people, it's like putting your face in front of people. But like, do you think the music is more important for actually like growing a fan base and getting placements and stuff like that?
So fantastic question. Okay. I'm sure in all of your guys' home markets, you have the people that are like, oh, this guy doesn't even produce music. Why is he getting gigs? Well, let me tell you something. Them getting gigs, if they don't have A, music, or B, any kind of coherent brand, and I'm not just saying they have a logo, I'm saying like what we talked about earlier, where it's like something intentional, where someone can look at them and go, oh, that's the guy that, versus that's a DJ that's playing the Beatport Top 10 and getting booked everywhere because they know the owner. There's a difference, right? It's a tree falling in the woods. And by the way, a lot of the time in your markets, when somebody's playing these shows all the time with Tiesto and fucking whatever in your market, they're getting paid like $100. I'm sure you guys all fucking know that. The bigger the name, the smaller the amount of money. So if you want to make money DJing right now, but still keep your chops up and it not affect your brand, go play corporate gigs, because they pay hella fucking money. You actually can get pay rent with that money, and they can use they can actually use you. To pursue gigs before you have music or anything, or like a brand that's coherent, if you feel like you're using your first name and you have like one remix out and you're playing, it's a tree falling in the woods. It doesn't really do anything for you. If anything, it's just like, it's kind of a missed opportunity. And especially if you don't know how to leverage it into content. But think about it, right? Like think about it with me, Gotchfather. As you guys saw, I had those pictures of me on my Instagram that are in the very front with me playing these like lit shows. There wasn't even an LED screen to have my logo on it. So what am I going to do? Go around the audience and go, hello, everybody. I'm Goshfather. If you enjoyed my set, you can follow me. That's bullshit. That's not how that works, right? But if I had my brand, if I had my sound, if I had something more cohesive and I went and I opened for Tiesto, now, and I knew that I'm going to hire my buddy, I'm going to give him $100, just give me raw clips from the audience of me looking sick. And I can now leverage that into going, yo, here's me with my, how I look and the sound that I play. And now I'm playing my new song before Tiesto. That makes a lot more sense. Care at that point if I get paid $50 to open.
Your audio is cutting out.
I'm just saying at that point, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Check. The point is that if I have like my brand and I have like my music and I'm going and opening for somebody huge, I don't care if I get paid $50. Because now if I go and have my homie filming me with like a 4K camera and it's like, it looks sick and I'm premiering my new record or premiering my new remix in front of like 1,000 people that maybe I didn't deserve that audience. They didn't come for me. They came for Tiesto, but I can make the propaganda and it's my music. Now that makes sense. But if you have no music and you have no brand, you can't, once you do have music and a brand, you can't backtrack and go, remember 2 years ago when I opened for Tiesto? That was cool. It's really cringe and it doesn't help you at all because you were a different person back then. So yeah, getting gigs and stuff is great, but unless it's a money play, corporate gig, and especially if you're in San Francisco, the corporate gigs pay more than if you're a fucking lawyer from Harvard University, they fucking pay more here with the fucking tech companies and the Christmas parties and shit. So pursue that shit because that doesn't affect your brand either, and it gets you the bag from DJing. But if in terms of like shows that matter, shows that will like, it's not gonna matter until you have something to breadcrumb it back to. It feels cool. You and the boys get drink tickets and you get $50 or $100 or $200, but it doesn't do something big picture because you can't kind of backtrack it. And the truth is the audience knows too. The audience knows, yeah, that's the guy that opened for the guy. I mean, there's no push. There's no impetus to go, I'm sorry, listen, I love all God's creatures, but we all know no one ever went, oh God, that guy that opened for Tiesto, God, I can't stop thinking about how incredible he was. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. But it's up to you, the artist, the individual, to go, oh, how do I make a mountain out of a molehill? If I'm only given a 15-minute set with Tiesto and I have a remix coming out and have my brand together, then there's somebody that can leverage a 15-minute set more than somebody that can leverage a 1 hour fucking big boy set. So I would say if you guys are in your local markets, don't fight. I call it, don't fight in the sewer. Fighting in the sewer, what I mean by that is fighting the wrong battles kind of in your scene, because even if you punch the other guy and beat the other guy, beat your competition, you're still in the sewer and everybody sucks in the sewer. So go bigger picture, find bigger ways to get leverage. What I would do if I was like a kind of smaller up and coming person, I would throw pop-ups that are cool. Get your friends and film. Oh, we threw a party in a. I know you guys may feel like that shit's like washed, but that shit's not washed. Because remember, our target audience is not our local fucking DJ bros. It's the audience. It's people in Europe. It's people in Asia that go, wow, this is so crazy. This guy threw a party in like a fucking laundromat. This guy threw a party in America. This guy threw a party in his room, like the small, in his bathroom, and he packed all of his friends. And that's interesting. That's interesting content that gives you a story to tell about you. And guess what? No gatekeepers. That's my favorite thing. Anytime that we can go and you guys can go and create something on your own with an iPhone camera with 6 of your friends, I'm all for that, because that doesn't require you to sell tickets, call the owner, kiss somebody's ass, make sure everyone's okay with it, get the permits. Then you're fucked, because now you have 70 different things to point the finger at to go, why I can't do it. And now you've lost an opportunity. Do everything that you can at arm's length. You'll get more clout from creating a cool little pop-up with like 10 of your buddies that come through and headbang while you're playing than you playing a 1 hour greatest house music set of all time opening for Tiesto in your local market that nobody remembers. Mic drop, baby.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's all super useful info. So basically like using playing shows for content and brand to then get you more shows to then leverage to bring people back to your brand.
Let's fucking go, JP. That's exactly it. It's circle. And again, the circle stops when someone goes, I'm dope. And they post a fucking carousel of them waving their hands. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Nobody cares about your thank you post. I'm so sorry. No one's going to go, oh, they didn't thank us with a thank you post. We're never booking them again. That's not how they'll book you 100 tames if you're taking $50 for an hour set. They'll book you over and over again. Trust me. But the thing that you can't replace is whether or not you turn that into something that you can leverage for yourself. That's the most important part of it. But JP, you got it. That's exactly it. Jeff, I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah. So I'm pretty new to remixes and everything.
Sure.
And so specifically like releasing bootleg remixes, you kind of alluded to this is like SoundCloud and YouTube the way to do that, or like what's the way to do that to one, not get hit with copyright infringement shit, and two, hopefully lead people back to my original stuff.
Hyped it gates, HYPPEDIT, hypedit.com. You can set up download gates. So if somebody wants to download it, especially with remixes and bootlegs, that's why, the weirder the better. The weirder the genre of, original song into whatever your genre is, the better, because then people are more likely going to download it and play it out. That's at least what I've experienced, because I make disco remixes of dubstep songs, and people think that's like a fucking novelty. So whatever, there's a lot of different ways to approach it. But again, when they download it, they have to give you your email, they have to follow you on Spotify, and they have to repost it and comment it on it. So leverage. You have leverage all across the way, but you're giving a product. If you really think about it, the whole hyped it thing is, if data is money, then you're charging people for your song. Right? Not financially, that's fucked up if you charge somebody for a song that somebody else made. But you know what I mean? If you do a remix or a bootleg and you want someone to have it, have them give you their email, because now you're getting leverage. If you get 100 emails, you get 1,000 emails. Now you are now immune to the algorithm. You now have 1,000 people that have opted in to giving you something personal for something that they want from you that only you can provide to them. So again, hyped it and uploading onto SoundCloud. In terms of like kind of getting past the censors and the DMCA shit, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Pitching the song up, maybe a semitone, maybe muting the vocals, just having like the instrumental be happening to upload. But then when they download it, they have the full version. You see what I mean? There's like a lot of low passing the song. There's a lot of stuff that people are just kind of used to. And if they like the idea, like, trust me, as a DJ, right? There are songs that are kind of like low pass or like pitched up that if I like the concept of it enough, I will download it. I don't care if it's like the upload is kind of weird. I'll still, if I'm like, dude, it's a Chapel Rowan fucking UKG remix. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll jump in there and I'll download it just to hear what the original version, the actual version sounds like, But it's about having it up. Muting the vocal, low passing the whole song, having only like a minute of it as like a preview. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of do it. You just got to kind of experiment until it just allows you to post it up on SoundCloud. With YouTube, the way that it works on there is, and as you could see, I'm if you guys have ever been to my YouTube, Godfather TV, I'm putting all of my old bootlegs on the retroactively, and it gets like a copyright strike, but the difference is I just can't monetize it, and the original artist gets paid from the ads that get rolled on it. So everybody wins. That should be, in my opinion, that's how it should be on Spotify. That's how it should be on SoundCloud. It'll change the game. Like, I have no problem giving Drake or whatever 100% of the proceeds that come from the streams that I get for my bootleg, because I'm getting exposure for it. I can actually, you know what I mean? So I would be happy for that. That's a couple different ways to do it. But yeah, hyped it. SoundCloud and hyped it are a lethal combo. It changed my life for sure. Any other questions?
Once you have the emails and stuff, how do you leverage that for releases? Because I'm building like kind of an email list, still small right now, but like, do you do like campaigns? Do you just, whenever you drop new stuff, say like you track out now? Is it mostly for shows? Like, what's kind of the once you have that?
Unless you have like a kind of concept for a newsletter, like I'm going to kind of be doing a newsletter where I talk about the stuff that I'm talking about with you guys, but in there, because obviously you also have to think about what's the way that you got those emails. Well, I'm getting it from people that are downloading my music on Hyped It. Chances are high that they're DJ producers, right? So I know that I can go in and I can and potentially like the next level is, how do I monetize it? Dude, I can start selling, giving promo codes for like native instruments and shit like that, and I start getting fucking paid, right? So lists, it's leverage. You're getting leverage. You can promote something to that. So again, but the other way, if you want to just do promos, look up this thing. It's an extension for Google Chrome called GMass. GMass. So what it does is it shoots out big blasts through your Gmail, like all internal, but it does it over the course of a few days, so it doesn't rate limit you, right? So it'll just automatically send 50 today, 50 tomorrow, 50 the next day. So it'll get them all out, but over a drip, and it won't like get your email like blocked for spam or whatever. So it's really dope, and it's free. There's a paid tier, but it's free. Really, truly a game changer. Anybody else?
When it comes to reaching out outside your market,
Yes.
Do you reach out? Like, are you doing the outreach? I've done some reach out, and I get some people back, but it's like, other than getting to potentially like Charlotte, it mostly falls on like dead ears to me, right?
Okay. So step one, the first most powerful tool that you have inside of your outreach capability for gigs outside of your market is gig trades. And what that is going to require is one of two things. Either you have your own party, or number two, you have a good enough relationship with somebody that runs the big parties in your market where you can say, hey, there's a guy that I believe in from blah, 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 San Francisco or whatever, some other city. If we bring them here, then I can go there and it would be like a huge thing for me. How can we make it happen? Boom. Again, leverage. Leverage is when you create one thing that a lot of people are interested in, and now you can use that interest of a lot of people have to be able to create, bundle in bigger things for yourself. And one of those things that you can bundle in, if you have your own party or have a relationship with somebody that has a big party, is being able to do gig trades. And I used to do gig trades, but now I don't have to, because my leverage is how visible I am, right? And how many people know about my music, right? Popularity is leverage. Music is leverage. I have like 100,000 downloads on my music. So like a lot of the way that I was getting booked in like a lot of other places was because so many of the local DJs that played the events in the cities that I played in were already playing my music. So like, we might as well just fucking book this guy. All of our opening DJs are fucking playing all his songs. Leverage, right? Leverage via the amount of songs that I put out. Visibility, right? So either you have your own thing, or you're visible, or like, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but like, you're going to be in a very bad position if you come in and say, hi, can I please play for you? Please. That's not a good place to come from. You kind of want to come in there and go, hey, how can I help? I mean, honestly, if you get good at making content, I mean, that's honestly another huge thing about me too, is like anytime I would go play in like another market, I would go and like make content to promote the song. I would always tell them, hey, I want to be a part of the operation. I don't want to just be, I'm a cool DJ showing up. Look at me, I'm fucking cool. I wanted to come and be, how do I help the marketing department by making a wacky video to promote the night? And I did that on every stop of my tour when I did the tour over last summer. So again, leverage. You just saved their marketing department, who probably doesn't know anything about content in a lot of cases, or they're just like apathetic about it, which is understandable because content's exhausting. I enjoy content. That's my leverage, right? It's something peripheral. It's something where you can do one to many. One to many is leverage. And the more leverage you can cultivate, the more successful you're going to be. The more it allows people to come and like say yes to you, say yes to your music, say yes to your performances. All that stuff is incredibly important. Hope that makes sense. Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, you did that with my party, and I appreciate it.
There you go, baby. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. We're gonna do more, dude. It'll be great. But yeah, that's another huge thing. Yeah. Any other questions? I think we're wrapping up here slowly, but we've been going ham for quite a while here. But yeah, slowly wrapping up.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I've been taking crazy notes. Were you recording this at all?
Yes, we were. Don't worry. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Nikki, go ahead, man.
What's your thoughts on Submit Hub? Not necessarily for like the feedback necessarily, but for like, just trying to get your music out there, Spotify placement, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's good. It has to be just part of your strategy. It has to.
Okay.
The more, like, again, the more our strategy can be something that we can control, the better. Like, I want to encourage everybody that's here and everybody that I speak to. Submit Hub is great, but again, it's a casino in Las Vegas, right? It's you put in some money, and if they like you, blah, 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 then they'll put you. You know what I say? As you're building up your fucking Hyped It list, or as you're building up your Hyped It whatever downloads, have, in addition to them following your Spotify account, gate it so they have to follow a playlist that you control. I have like 4,000 followers on my playlist, and that's just passively that are growing in my sleep, and it's pretty active. Anytime I put a homie's disco house song on there, it's like a disco house like focused playlist, it gets them over the 1,000 stream hump for the song to get monetized, and that's getting built in my sleep. So with that, sorry about that. I just scared. Never trust the space bar. So yeah, but yeah. So I again, like, Submit Hub is fine, but it has to be a part of the strategy, and it can't be all the strategy. What's better than Submit Hub? fine. Okay, since we're making music, right? We're not doing visual art, right? The beauty about music is that it can be put over anything. It can be put over anything in any part of the world. It's like liquid. It's like water, and it can be transported across the planet in the blink of an eye. So what I would say, what's smarter to do instead of doing, in addition, maybe to Submit Hub, if you want people to hear the song, and the song has a specific vibe that it lends itself to, reach out to influencers or even people. Let's say you have 5K followers and you know somebody that has 9K followers, 10K followers, and they're like an athlete or something. I'm sure everybody knows somebody that's like a slightly bigger following than them that maybe they kind of have a okay relationship with. Have them make a piece of content with your song on it, or better yet, help them film something with your song on it. Learn some basic editing, help them make a piece of content. Go, yo, that. The only stipulation is use my song. Now you have leverage. Now you have thousands of people that are now exposed to your music that you have a chance for them to say, yo, what is this? And these are people that are active. These are the everyman. These are the every man and every woman that on a playlist, sometimes it's passive listening. It's not kind of as targeted. And of course, and you definitely with a playlist, if that's your only thing, you kind of can't you don't know who the fuck listens to your song. Right? With this, if somebody goes and says, yo, what track ID in the comment section of your homie that's a fitness influencer whose song is using, you can reply to them and go, yo, this is mine. Check it out. Now you have a fan. Now imagine if you do that 10 fucking times, 20 times per release, well, now your fucking song is everywhere. But it's just a question of doing that work, sending that DM, looking at things kind of laterally, realizing the power that you have as a music producer, realizing that you are, as I said, a exponentially fractional percentile of the entire human race to be able to make a song. Well, now then it's a question of how are you intelligently positioning that song? And there's so many more ways than the ways that we think there are. We're on apps all day long scrolling. How do those songs get on there? A lot of it's a relationship, or maybe sometimes the person finds the song or it's a popular song. But if you have a homie that's a hot girl that has 15K followers and she does like fitness thing, have her put your fucking energetic EDM track in one of her workout videos. Now you have a brand new audience of people getting exposed to your song for, if not free, maybe cost of $50. At least then you can track the results, because on like a playlist, that's good, but you need a lot of playlists all happening at the same time to really feel the difference, Anyway, I hope that answers your question. I just think it's a good idea. It's just,
no, totally.
I don't think it should be the be all to end all. I think it's good, but it's not the final. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was wondering, what are some of the best ways to drive people to your music, specifically like SoundCloud and stuff? Like I've been experimenting with different things. Like I've done kind of like paid reposting, so it's like promo, like all the plays and stuff end up being legit, like real people, but it's like having people repost it for you for like reach. I don't know if that's good or if I should
you can
stop
pay.
doing
Yeah,
that.
no, paying on SoundCloud is good, because those are like real humans that that have to like listen to it. It's not like I said, hyped it, making people comment and repost in order to download is a huge one. Doing gambits. If you have like a YouTube, if you upload it to YouTube and say, I'm giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to, a random person that comments on my YouTube video,
Okay.
When somebody says marketing, this is what marketing is. It's not get in the boardroom with your business suit on and the tie and start looking at analytics. It's I'm a human. What would make me want to go somewhere and do something? $50 Amazon gift card? Or if you have a huge show, or not a huge show, maybe a promoter in your town, and he's doing a show. Be like, yo, dude, you're my homie. Would you mind if I gave away a ticket, aka creating awareness for his show? Can I give away a ticket by telling people to come comment on my YouTube? Well, boom. Can I create a promo for your show where my song is playing in it and people have to tag their friends? Boom. Now you have promotion for the show and your song playing in it. So many different ways to leverage things. It's all about doing kind of acts of service that bring the kind of goodwill back to you. There's a lot of different ways you gotta do. You just gotta be 1% out of the box. Anybody else?
Okay.
I have a quick question. Have you?
Yes.
I've been seeing this a lot with like AI people on Instagram saying they use mini chat. So they'll promote something and say, type in like disco in the comment and we'll send you a link. Have you experimented with this? Is this
that's a great one, and honestly, I should be doing a lot more. Like I mean, you guys probably realize this, but part of my like life is I run social media, like a small social media agency for other bigger artists than me. So yes, every client that I have that I run social media accounts for, they all have ManyChat. I'm the only one that doesn't do it just because I guess maybe this is my personal. I'm like exhausted from using the fucking ManyChat, but that's not a good excuse. I should be using it, and I will be using it a lot more. But ManyChat's fantastic. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's just an automation. So when you see artists go, comment yes, and it's just you automatically DM off your account a link or whatever the hell you want to do, and it's just a great way. Yeah, use ManyChat, Shep. That one's amazing. If you haven't been using it, ManyChat is powerful right now. It's very powerful, and it kind of requires. But with ManyChat also, like if you say my new song's out, comment ding dong to get it. If you don't really have like an audience yet. If you don't really have an audience yet, it's going to be kind of difficult to get people to participate. But again, if it's like, hey, we have a huge, I'm giving away a ticket to one lucky person that like comments on my video with my song on it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's different. So yeah. So sorry. Yeah. My camera's kind of fucking up. So yeah. Yeah, definitely check out ManyChat. This is the bottom line. It's really, really good. Guys, I'm gonna have to wrap up here because we've been going ham, but fortunately this is all recorded. And I'll get the cloud link and I'll paste it in the thing. I'll also I'm gonna obviously forget about some of the stuff that I promised you guys that I was gonna paste in the chat too. So please remind me. I'll definitely send that bass kick thing. But yeah, man, I think we went really deep and really thorough in here. I hope you guys kind of get a little taste of my philosophy about how I approach things. My philosophy comes from having dealt with a lot of garbage and in my time as a musician, but realizing that a lot of the garbage comes from myself. That's kind of what I'm trying to explain here, is that so much of the things that held me back were my own really limiting beliefs about what I was capable of, what the industry was like, what's possible as one individual artist. It was really, a lot of it came from me. So, yeah. And, I really want to encourage you guys to try to use the tools that exist out there to really make shit happen for yourself. Making excuses, I'm not saying that you guys are doing this, but, you can look around, there's a lot of apathy. A lot of artists say, Mark Zuckerberg's fucking me, Daniel Ek is fucking trying to destroy my life. It's really easy to say that. It feels really good. It feels really good to go, the reason no one fucks with me is because of some force that exists in the world that is like Daniel Ek created Spotify to fuck over this one dubstep DJ. Like that's not how it works. Right. So I encourage you guys to, did I just die? Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like my Zoom is like exploding right now. But again, I just encourage you guys to like look past the apathy, believe in yourselves, create stuff and put it out, and use the tools. My Zoom is like frozen, so if you guys can still hear me, I can't. It's good. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really hope that my Zoom being frozen doesn't mean that it stopped recording. But JP, you're still recording, right?
Yeah, I got the backup one going.
Fuck, dude. Oh boy, it's like fully fucked. Okay, Zoom meetings is not responding. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Sorry about this. It had to be like this, but yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll post the recording ASAP into the chat. All right.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for spending your Sunday with me, and let's all talk soon. And thanks again, of course, for supporting me with the Beatport. That was a really incredible experience that my shit even charted. So thanks. I appreciate you guys a lot.
Appreciate you.
Have a great one. Bye. See you guys.
Later.
All right, brother. See you around. Night.